Hello and welcome to another night of top-class racing action here on Talking Dogs TV. Of course, we're here at Shelbourne Park and we'll also be bringing you all the racing from Limerick, featuring the semi-finals of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. And what a great competition that has been over the last few weeks, and still more drama to come. Of course, here at Shelbourne Park, the final of the Shelburne Open 600, one of the most famous events on the calendar, is very much the feature. But as you know, we're going to get straight into the racing and be back with all the introductions after this one. But this opening contest here at Shelbourne Park, not worth missing. We're going to move over to Rob in the commentary box. Rob, looking forward to a great night's racing. The dogs will be going to trap soon.
Going to trap soon. Good time, and they're all in for opening race of the night. It's all about the racing, as you said. In 1 is Metric Roma, 2 is Jazz Toes, in 3 Sweep the Yard, 4 Ballymac Captain, 5 Our Swans Rock, and 6 is Gord Kelly Nestor. And away they go, and 6 is well away. Gord Kelly Nestor is going to lead up by the looks of it. 4 Ballymac Captain moves inwards and just about gets in front around the opening 2 bends. So it's threads 4. That's Ballymac Captain who leads from 3 Sweep the Yard. We know what he can do from here, and he's a big challenger as he goes for 5 wins on the trot. But into the 3rd bend, Ballymac Captain leads from Sweep the Yard. He still has 3 lengths to make, but he is flying now. Round the final 2 bends, Sweep the Yard goes wide. Ballymac Captain, Sweep the Yard. It's going to be tight. Sweep the Yard, Ballymac Captain. Oh, we think he might just have held off the rejuvenated Sweep the Yard. It was one that was going to go all the way to the line, but in the end Ballymac Captain might just have hung on. A great start to tonight's action and a great time as well in 28:47.
Yeah, tremendous opening contest to kick off proceedings. It looked to all the world that Sweep the Yard was going to win into the 3rd bend, but as you're about to see, Ballymac Captain, he is an inside runner. He does like to get to that fence, and once showing good early speed to clear the bend, well, he was always going to take some stopping, but a glance back would see Sweep the Yard in 2nd spot, and I thought at this point that Sweep the Yard would win 2 or 3 lengths, to be brutally honest, because Ballymac Captain, while he is a very talented tracker, not the stoutest of stayers, and Sweep the Yard normally a big finisher. He came to challenge off the last bend, stayed to the outside of the park, and in the end, Ballymac Captain digging deep on the far side and repelling the challenge of Sweep the Yard. A great way to kick off proceedings. Back in 3rd was 6 Gord Kelly Nestor, and as Robert alluded to, 28:47 in that opening race. A tremendous time to kick off proceedings here tonight. Of course, it is beautifully sunny here at Shelbourne Park, and the Bowser has been round, so the track should be in good condition, and one wonders what sort of times we'll see a little bit later on in the evening. Of course, normally at this time of the evening we'd be joining the bowl Joe Sheehan down in Limerick. As Joe says himself, there's no show like a Joe show, but unfortunately Joe can't make it tonight. He has a bit of a more pressing engagement, shall we say. I believe it's something to do with Tinder. It could be something to do with a broken heart, but I promise you he will be back soon. So don't fear that you're losing out on Joe Sheehan, because he'll be back soon. But we have sent down an able replacement, and a man that's really up on all the Limerick form. You can tell by his accent. Another bowled individual, Barry Caul.
Thanks a million, Ian, and welcome viewers to Limerick Greyhound Stadium. Unfortunately, Joe can't be here this evening, but hopefully he'll be back with us shortly enough. We've got a fabulous night's racing tonight, featuring, of course, the semi-final of the Con Annie Kirby 525, as well as the O'Connor Cup semi-final for dogs that didn't make it through to the 2nd round. So we kick off with an A7, A8 over 525, and our 2nd race is a novice entry, but then the action really kicks in from then on in. So the first race here, Greyhounds are just on parade. Not an awful lot of form to go on here. In fact, only one of the Greyhounds has finished in the top 2 so far. Trap one, it's topical enough. Burrow Sydney, his granddam actually won the 2011 Puppy Oaks in Shelbourne Park. We have it there this evening. He's lightly raced for his age. As I say, he has a good section here in his debut on December 7th, but he does need to improve somewhat. Trap 2, Crickow Bob. His dam won open races over 6 bend, and she's produced a couple of decent runners. Needs to improve on his recent form, in fairness. Trap 3, Gold Pair for Neelius O'Connell. His dam was definitely special. 2015 Night of Stars winner and a Munster Oaks finalist. Shanna Kelmatty in 4 ran well on debut here. Took a bump at the 1st bend, but finished an honourable 3rd. Raramanda in 5. Finished behind Trap 4 on her debut, but her dam won over 6 bends, and this one is open to improvement. And in 6 we've done Bold Winter. Dam contested a couple of top grade sprints. This one has a decent sprint trial qualifying and ran okay on her debut here recently.
Yeah, thanks for that, Barry.
Back
Yes, indeed. It's a modest start to proceedings at Limerick tonight, an A7 contest, and as Barry alluded to, one or two of them very well bred. The first we're going to take a look at is Gold Pearl. Neelis O'Connell, who has his dogs in flying form. Of course, he's a finalist here tonight in the Shelburne Open 600 in the form of Razzle Dazzle Peaky. This one is very well bred, as Barry said. Adora Kinlochbray and Yahoo Perlina, what a star she was. Knight of Stars winner. She has been quite a brood as well, of course, and Gold Pearl certainly one to consider in just its second career start. Trap 4, Shanna Kyle Matty, another well-bred type, a son of Ballymac Matt and Kilgraney Mile. We saw Ballymac Matt winning the opening race here at Shelbourne Park. Perhaps we could be on for a across-the-card double. The last we're going to take a look at is Trap 6, Dunbalg Winter, and this one trained by Dennis O'Malley, a son of Lawhill Blake and Airfield Biddy. Out of luck in its only start to date, 1973 trial. As I said, it's a modest enough affair to kick off proceedings at Limerick, but I can promise you it gets much hotter as the evening's proceedings go on. Don't forget, folks, great night's racing to look forward to. The feature very much the semi-finals of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial at Limerick, and of course the final of the Shelburne Open 600 here at Shelbourne Park. Some brilliant racing, some brilliant trackers in action. We have a couple of notable non-runners. Unfortunately, in the Shelburne Open 600, Monbag Zinzan did a small little bit of damage to his ligament last week. He'll be off the track for a couple of months, but will be back and better than ever in the very near future. Our condolences to Eamon Doyle, who would have really loved to have had a runner in a final of such standing. We're also missing Vallegro from the semi-finals of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial, and I believe that one is simply down to pure bad luck. Vallegro, well, he was on his way to Limerick, but their van broke down and they simply couldn't get there in time. It's just one of those things that happens every now and again, and we really are sorry to Morris and Paula Heffernan, who have had such a good history in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Anyway, more on that in a little bit later on, but before then, we're going to take in the opening race at Limerick. It's an A7 contest. Let's join Mal.
We're good to go here at Limerick. From the inside, Burrows Sydney, Crickle Owl Bob, Gold Pearl, Shanna Kyle Matty, Radamanda, Dundalk Winter. Away in the opening race from Limerick, traps 2 Crickle Owl Bob and Shanna Kyle Matty, early on prominent, so 2 Dundalk Winter on the outside. Up front, well off the second bend, it's Crickle Owl Bob alongside Dundalk Winter. There's a gap back to the third place, number 3, Gold Pearl. Moving now towards the second bend from the finish in the opener here at Limerick. Trap 2, Crickle Owl Bob hits the front by a couple of lengths on Dundalk Winter. We're going off the final bend. Here's the line, 2-6 is how they finish. Crickle Owl Bob wins the opener in a time of 29:39.
Yes, 29:39 there by Crickle Owl Bob. He said goodbye to A7 Company. Well done to Joe Shanahan. This fellow was always prominent. He came away well from trap 2. You see 4 going well, also Shanna Kyle Matty, but traffic problems in the middle of the track, and all of a sudden 6 Dunbalg Winter found himself in front, but he stays middle to wide, and it allows trap 2 Crickle Owl Bob to go back to the front as they enter the back straight. Trap 6 Dunbalg Winter again showing pace into the third bend to challenge a long gap back to 3 Gold Pearl in third spot, but trap 2 Crickle Owl Bob goes on by 2-3 lengths into the home straight, and he goes on to win in fine style. That was his third career start, his first victory, and this son of Ballymac Esky and Crickle Owl B will certainly win more, as will trap 6 Dunbalg Winter in second spot. Meanwhile, we're back here to Shelbourne Park. Again, we are going to take a look forward to some of the action here at Shelbourne Park and indeed at Limerick. Great racing towards the end of the evening, especially in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial and the Shelbourne Open 600 here at Shelbourne Park. And the man behind the microphone here at Shelbourne Park is Rob Catterson. Of course, you're more than familiar with Rob doing sterling work over the last few weeks. I'm going to join now Rob. Rob, great night's racing to look forward to here at Shelbourne Park. And of course, we have the 2 semi-finals down to Limerick also worth waiting for.
Yeah, brilliant, Ian. As you said, the Shelburne Open 600, it goes back to 1964. We've had 6 bitches win it. It's back in 1990, the last time a female managed to win it. So Billy's Diva is trying to obviously make it number 7. But it's a fascinating final. And obviously, Monbeg Zinzan being out, it's a killer blow to connections. But is that going to mean that Beach Avenue is going to get a clear run up? It's hard to know. He's won from 6 in trap 6 as well. So could that be his Achilles heel? We've got Ballymac Wild, who, as we said last week, has danced all the finals he got to in 2020. We've got Billy's Diva. We've got Pierna, who's the most likely leader. it's just a mouth-watering final, and you'd be a brave person to put your neck in the block and say something is definitely going to win it, because it's just one of those finals that so many things could happen. But as you've said, we've got loads to come between now and then, and we've got a brilliant supporting card. And we're going to kick on with the second round of the Shelburne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5, because Greyhounds are coming on parade for the opening heat of the second round. Some brilliant times done 7 nights ago. And the first on parade is Ballymac Biscuit. You mentioned Ballymac Mad already on the mark here at Shelburne. Owned by Liam Dowling. She's 1 from 5 so far. She was second to Front of Annie, who she reopposes here tonight last week. But she did clock 28.67, and an improvement of that. She'll have a big chance of getting her payback. 2 is Good Diva. Good Diva obviously is a daughter of Bell's Direction and JT Sir Harris. She's a half sister to Billy's Diva, who runs later in the night, and of course she's done good runs in Newbridge. She was a winner of the Newbridge race, so she's got a big chance in that form. 3 is Rockland Swift for John Guiney and Peter Cronin. She really caught the eye in her first ever start here last week, and of course Peter Cronin won this competition back in 2019 with Crack Lady, so if she can improve in last week, she's got a big chance of qualifying. 4 is Outback Becky for Don Hayes and Frank Courtney. She's 1 from 2. She managed to win here on her debut at Shelburne a couple of weeks ago, and she's another who might very well be up there early on. 5 is Mina Melody for Michael Corr. Also 1 from 2. She's got a good sprint run to her name in Dundalk, and she's the 5th of the middle of the inside seed, so it'll be intriguing to see if trap 5 suits her. And in 6 we've got Front of Annie for Kevin Proctor and Robert Gleeson. Robert, of course, responsible for last year's winner, Droopy's Curio, and she posted the fastest time last week of these 6 runners when clocking 28.60, and she had previously done 28.11 here at Shelburne, so she's clearly very talented. She's a daughter of Sonic and Rural Aloha, and if she hits the lids, well, she could take some catching. So it's an intriguing opening heat of the second round of the Shelburne Puppy Oaks 5-2-5, and it's going to take some winning, Ian.
Yes, indeed, it sure will, Rob. And we're going to kick off with our 3 to follow here. The first we're going to take a look at is Ballymac Biscuit for Liam Dowling. This lady ran well in defeat last week. She was picked up by Front of Annie. She ran wide off the last bend, perhaps. The hair was a little bit under her nose. Well, I don't know. It was hard to tell, but she certainly made a dramatic move off the final bend, and well, if she goes a few spots faster, she won't be out of the reckoning in this contest. She is well housed on the fence. 2 is Good Diva. This lady won the Brownstown Tango Newbridge Track Supporters race down at Newbridge. She has fine pace from start to finish. Never really got racing last week. Found a little bit of traffic everywhere she went. She will come on for that first look here at Shelbourne Park, and expect her to step up on latest form. She's won 3 of her 5 outings to date. And the last we're going to take a look at in detail is Front of Annie. We did say last week that the 28.11, well, that was when she led around the opening corner, but on most occasions, certainly in this type of company, she won't lead around that opening corner. She was prominent into the bend last week. She did surprise me in that end of things, but she did lose her pitch. She had to come from back in 5th spot off the second bend, but she did so with real gusto. She has a massive engine, this lady, and if she does improve a yard or 2 into that opening corner, well, she's as fast as any bitch around. She has to clear trap 5, Mina Melody, in the early yards, which is no easy task because she showed fine early dash last week. Rob, it's an intriguing contest. I think I'd have to side with trap 6 Front of Annie, but I'm expecting a bold showing from Good Diva this week. You'd imagine for the look at Shelbourne Park, she'll improve for last week's running.
Absolutely, and I suppose Ballymac Biscuit only has a length to make up on Front of Annie from last week. Just for those watching, if you fancy getting involved in the trio and any of our races tonight, the trio in the opening race paid €160, and I suppose in your 3, 1, 2, 6 all ways, if you could manage to click with that, it'd be nice to be a nice start to the night with loads of good racing to come. But Good Diva, yeah, you can see a big improvement, but Front of Annie, if she can break better tonight, you'd have thought she should take plenty of catching.
Goes in. We must mention that Barking Buzz is there all evening, of course, for those of you wishing to get involved on the tote. It's there's a link on the front page of your in player, or else you can just go into your separate tab, open up Barking Buzz and get involved. And as Rob suggested, there will be a number of guaranteed trios here this evening. But meanwhile, the dogs going to traps for this opening heat of the Shelburne Puppy Oaks. Expect to see some really fine performances here in the next 4 races at Shelburne Park as these ladies get accustomed to the surroundings of Shelburne Park. Meanwhile, it's over to Rob. Last few moments before the off.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. And the last couple are now in for our second race of the night. The opening second round heat of the Shelburne Puppy Oaks. 6 talented females going to traps here. And they're all in for our second race. In 1 is Ballymac Biscuit, 2 is Good Diva, in 3 Rockland Swift, 4 is Outback Becky, 5 is Mina Melody, and 6 is the sole wide seat Front of Manny. And away they go. Front of Manny just a slightly slow away as 1 and 2 Ballymac Biscuit and Good Diva dominate early on. And around the opening 2 bends there's a little bit of traffic problems and 2 Good Diva leads, but 3 Rockland Swift now is challenging her. Then there's about a 4-length gap to Front of Manny, who's moving into third. There's a lot of ground to make up on the front 2, and the leader now is Rockland Swift, an eye-catcher on debut last week, and she leads from Good Diva. 4 Front of Manny is still flying. It's Rockland Swift though. She's got first run on Front of Manny, and that's going to count from an eye-catching Front of Manny, who in the end managed to do really well to finish second. Good Diva has finished third. She books her place in the semi-finals, but it's a win for Rockland Swift and Peter Cronin in 28.85.
Yeah, Rob really did touch upon it in the commentary there. Fine display by Rockland Swift. This lady having just her second career start for Peter Cronin and Johnny Guiney. She wasn't the fastest in the stride. Good Diva made a better start this week, but she just struggling to clear Ballymac Biscuit. Takes a bump and a second bump, and all of a sudden Rockland Swift is right on her shoulder, out the back of the ears, just in the end of our screen there. You see trap 6 Front of Manny now making a forward charge, but she too took a bump there from 5 Mina Melody, and out front 3 Rockland Swift has taken over from Good Diva and gone on by 3 lengths. Front of Manny, as hard as she is trying to close the gap, she's not getting there that quickly. Rockland Swift, a very fine display by this youngster. She's a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Swift Medora. A September 19 whelp. She's clearly going the right way, and one that Peter Cronin will look forward to racing again in the very near future, in the third round, of course, in the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. She's going into that one as a winner. And again, we're going to take a look at this. Just watch trap 3, Rockland Swift. She showed good speed and good track craft. Trap 2, at this point, Good Diva looked like it's going to go around, but those couple of bumps just did cost it a little bit of momentum. Rockland Swift all of a sudden arrives on her shoulder, and then the two have a great tussle down into that third turn. But Rockland Swift just getting the better of the argument on the outside. She drives across Good Diva and quickly puts a bit of distance between herself and Good Diva, who had a slight check there between the last 2 bends. 6 Front of Manny. We know how fast she is, but she is a little bit, short in the early yards, and that's the key. But a fine display there by trap 3, Rockland Swift. She's clearly going the right way. Front of Manny in second spot, and back in third was 2 Good Diva. Meanwhile, at Limerick, they're going on parade for the second race of the evening.
The first of the 6 runners is Malby Darla, owned and trained in Clare by Sarah Burke. Trap 2 is the reserve that comes in, namely What's Up Live for the OL Syndicate of Ross Gray, Tipperary. Followed by the white jacket of the Michael O'Mara trained Elms Vic for Martin Butler. Here we have Snuggy Sky, owned and trained in the Banner County by Miles Cummins. 5 is Ruffian Zeus for David Burke, trap 5. And for the Hayes family of Ballybrown, it's Call Me Matt with Sean and John. Those are the runners that will shortly be going to traps here at Limerick for our second race, which is the Greyhounds Make Great Pets Open Novice over 525 yards.
Yeah, these are all newcomers, of course. It's an ON3 525, so not much form to go upon. Our 3 to against the field. We've chosen trap 3, Elms Vic is the first we're going to take a look at, owned by Martin Butler and trained by Michael O'Mara. This is a well-bred son of Ballymac Vic and Isle of Capri. A September 19 whelp, 1952 in qualifying, a 30-12 on its card, also open to any amount of improvement as you'd expect. Trap 5, Ruffian Zeus is the next we're going to take a look at, owned by Peter Sutcliffe, who himself has some really talented trackers at his disposal. Owned also by David Burke. This is a very well-bred son of Tullamore Act and Droopy's Floral. Droopy's Floral, real class act for Peter Sutcliffe in the past. And, I'd expect this one to improve on trial form. It has a 29.81 around Limerick. Okay, it was calculated at 30.01, but expect much better from this one. Certainly if pedigree is anything to go by, it'll probably be the one to beat. And the last we're going to take a look at is trap 6, Call Me Matt, owned by Sean Hayes and John Hayes, the son of Ballymac Matt and Freddie's Girl. 30-24 in qualifying in 1946 around Mullingar. They are very light. They're not even lightly raced. They're unraced. It's very hard to assess them on the form they've shown thus far. And it'd be a bit much of me now to put Barry on the spot and ask him for his selection. But he may have one or two ideas of what could improve and, you know, what way they're bred. So we'll head down to the main man in Limerick tonight, Barry Caul.
Thanks, Ian. It's a bit of guesswork here. Obviously, none of them have ran before, but I've checked the pedigrees during the weekend. It's a couple of well-bred types. Trap 1, Malbay Darla, she's in good hands. Dam 1 over 28.61 over here for 525, and our litter sister won recently 28.79 and is currently for sale for €10,000. So she's obviously from a decent litter. Reserve in 2, What's Up Liz replaces Ballymartin Lola. She's the youngest of the field. Her dam produced a couple of A1 runners in her first litter, but nothing really of note. Trap 3, Elms Vic. This breeding goes back to the flying winner, Wise winner line, so you'd imagine he's going to be stamina laden. A decent trial recently, 1952, and he could be strong at the finish. He'll be the one for me here. Trap 4, Snuggy Sky for Miles Cummins. Dam won a couple of races around A3, A4 grade. This is her first litter. He's improved with each of his qualifying runs, and if we go back far enough, he's back to the Razzle Dazzle Pearl bloodline. Ruffian Zeus in Trap 5. Dam was very well bred, 28.35 in Shelbourne Park and 29.70 for the 550. She also ran the 2018 Consolation Derby final, and the owner Peter Sutcliffe has Explosive Boy later on the card. And finally in Trap 6, Call Me Matt for Sean and John Hayes. Dam won 6 times around A4 grade. It's her second litter. First litter showed bits and pieces, and a full sister of this lad has won 2 from 2 around Mullingar. So as I say, lots of guesswork. I'm going to side with Trap 3, Elms Vic. I expect him to be quite strong at the finish with his breeding, as I say, with Flying Winner and Wise Winner. Malbay Darla, closer, a full sister of that one that's up for sale for €10,000. So another 28.79, and the Burks could have 2 up for sale for €10,000. Could be a decent start of the year for them. So the last one's loading here. Trap 3 for me, Elms Vic. Around about a 2-to-1 chance this morning. Still available at about 5-2. Bet like exchange. They're just about all loaded. So we're going to hand over to Mal for the commentary.
The runners are Malbay Darla, What's Up Liv, Elms Vic, Snuggy Sky, Ruffian Zeus, Call Me Matt. The favourite is in 3, doesn't get away. Elms Vic, 6 leads early on. Call Me Matt, followed by Trap 5, Ruffian Zeus. To the second bend, almost together. Traps 5 and 6. 1 is in third, Malbay Darla. At the front of the field, it's 5, Ruffian Zeus by 2 lengths on Call Me Matt, Trap 6. Going through the closing couple of turns in our second race. The grounds make great pets, open novice. It's 5, Ruffian Zeus that leads comfortably, heading to the line. 5, 6 and 1, Ruffian Zeus, Call Me Matt, Malbay Darla. The win here is in a time of 29.09.
Yeah, good start to the career of Ruffian Zeus. We will be joining the replay from the second bend. At this point, Ruffian Zeus and Call Me Matt were certainly ahead of the field. Ruffian Zeus was just getting the better of its rival. The pair just slightly bumped there, but Trap 5, Ruffian Zeus, this well-bred son of Tullamore Acton, Droopy's Floral, as Barry alluded to, she was top-class Droopy's Floral, and she's thrown a nice one here in the form of Ruffian Zeus. I'm sure he'll come on further again. He'll be breaking 29 seconds very soon indeed. But congratulations to Peter Sutcliffe and David Burke, because Ruffian Zeus emerging a comfortable winner by 4 or 5 lengths to in second, Call Me Matt. Yeah, we're going to take another look at that second contest from Limerick. As I've said, a nice promising youngster. He'll improve again, Ruffian Zeus, and a well-bred son of Tullamore Acton. Joining them from the second bend, once again in behind, you see Trap 1 had avoided most of the traffic problems further back to 4, Snuggy Sky. But it was really all about the front 2, and in fairness, from halfway it was all about Ruffian Zeus. Never really looked in threat, and this fellow, well, emerging a comfortable enough winner, as we've said, from in second spot, 6, Call Me Matt. And that's it for the second race at Limerick. Congratulations to all involved. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, we're going to look ahead to the next contest, and this is the second heat of the Shelbourne. Puppy Oaks and some really talented trackers in action, as you'd fully expect. We're going to bear with me. The The likely favourite here is Trap 1, Magical Poppy. She was a very impressive winner in just her second career start last week, winning in 28.52. Flashed from boxes, made every inch of the running. It's been a feature of her 2 starts to date, Magical Poppy. She is very well housed in Trap 1. Lisa is certain to go up fast from Trap 3, but she is a short runner, so beware of that. The one I really liked last week in defeat was Luna Babylon. I thought she showed real good pace. She flew home. I wonder, did she catch Robert's eye?
She sure did, Ian, and just as he said, the Greyhounds are coming on parade for our third race and the second of our second round heats of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. And just like our opening race, by the way, we had a really good trio in our second race, over €286. So if you're doing the trios tonight, make sure you do, because they're paying well so far. First on parade for race 3 is Magical Poppy, the likely favourite for Donald Guilfoyle and Patrick Guilfoyle. She's 2 out of 2 so far. She was scintillating here 7 nights ago. She's a daughter of Confident Rankin and Cabra Twister, and there's no doubt about it, she is the one to beat. In 2 is Luna Babylon for Patrick Whelan and Laura Earle. She's won from 4 so far, but she was a huge eye catcher behind Burgess Cassie here 7 nights ago, and she gets luck on her side. She could be a big danger to the favourite, Magical Poppy. 3 is New and Lisa for Simon Taylor and Graham Hollander. Well-bred daughter of Loghill Blake and Coolavani Pearl, a half-sister to the likes of New and Session and Clona Blaze, along with Doolin Duke. And she was a little bit disappointing last week, so expect better from New and Lisa tonight. 4 is Slippery Edda for Larry Dunn. No looking 10 starts to date, but she has been catching the eye in her most recent starts, and she's another from halfway. They'll be doing her best work. She's a daughter of Droopy's Jet and Royal Diva. In 5, we've got Sudi Centurion for Patrick Tierney and Kildare, trained by Sean Conway. She's 2 from 5 so far, and she was only touched off last week by Infield Jasper, so she's another for the short list. And in 6, we've got Miss Clover for the Moydrum Massive Syndicate. 4 from 7 so far for this daughter of Ballymac Matt, so she's got a really good strike rate. And her mother, Folly's View, was pretty smart as well. She recorded times of 28.19 here at Shelbourne back in her day. So it's another intriguing contest. It's race 3, the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525, round 2, heat 2. And a reminder, if you're doing the trio, the first 2 tonight here at Shelbourne have paid quite well.
Yes, let's move on to the eye catchers, or the 3 to follow in this third race here at Shelbourne Park. Second heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. No surprise, we start with Magical Poppy. 28.69 on debut around Limerick, off a 1:27 split. A good start, obviously made on her debut, and she followed it up last week with a 2:05 here at Shelbourne Park, leading all the way for Pat Guilfoyle and Donald Guilfoyle, a daughter of Confident Rankin and Cabra Twister. A lot to like about this lady, and she's perfectly housed on the fence. Trap 2, Luna Babylon. She started her career in the future champion of Michael Fortune Memorial Unrace Stake down at Enniscorthy, showing a bit of promise. Won in 28.83 estimated around Enniscorthy on March 15th, and last week didn't get the clearest runs early, was a bit slow into stride, but she did run on very strongly behind the fastest heat winner Burgess Cassie. It'd be no surprise if she was to improve for Pat Whelan and Laura Earle, daughter of Droopy Sydney and Ballymac Fifi. And in Trap 3, the last we're going to take a look at in depth, New in Lisa, this lady for Simon Taylor and Graham Holland, the Derby winning connections, a daughter of Law Hill Blake and Coolavani Pearl, as Robert said, very well bred, a sister or half sister to some real stars, and she has blistering early speed. She's not the strongest stayer, but she does have blistering early speed, and expect to see her prominent in the early yards. The 3 I didn't mention, Slippy Edda, she needs to improve her starting. Sooty Centurion, well, she'll need to improve on form in general to get involved. And 6, Miss Clover, well, there's a 28.60 here at Shelbourne Park, but she's yet to really repeat that line of form. She'll need a flying start. It's a cracking contest. Hard not to fancy Trap 1, Magical Poppy. Certainly if she produces the start she made last week, she'll be thereabouts, behind or just alongside New and Lisa into the opening corner. But again, keep an eye on Luna Babylon in Trap 2. I think she's a bitch that is going places. Very eye-catching run last week, and I expect her to improve a little bit further on her 28.78 return in defeat. If she does 28.50, well, she won't be too far away. But Magical Poppy, the one they have to beat. As we know, they are, well, getting close to going to boxes now for this second contest, or this second heat, should I say, of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. Once again, don't forget, get involved in Barking Buzz throughout the evenings, the guaranteed trios in these Puppy Oaks heats, and indeed in the final of the Shelbourne Open 600. And fittingly, the trio pool in the Open 600 final is guaranteed to €600. So, well, worth your while getting involved in that one. But now, as they go to boxes, let's join Robert one more time, just get his view on what he thinks will come home clear.
Yeah, Ian, obviously Magical Poppy, if she breaks like she did last week, she's going to take plenty of beating it. And Luna Babylon was a huge eye catcher. So if you're doing the trio, I'm going to put in New and Lisa in trap 3. As you said, she'll need everything to go her way. She obviously will need to lead early if she's any chance of winning, but you just get the impression that she's better than what we saw last week, and she's stoutly bred, and obviously she's trained by Graham Holland, who's been responsible for 3 of the last 10 winners of this Shelburne Puppy Oaks competition. So it's a really good race, and maybe 1, 2, 3 always, as you suggested, Ian, is the way to go if you're getting involved in the trio. But they are loading for a third race of the night. The Shelburne Puppy Oaks 525, round 2, heat 2. And it won't be too long until they're going to be sent underway. And they are running for our third race, and 1 is Magical Poppy, 2 is Luna Babylon, 3 is New and Lisa, 4 Slippery Edda, 5 Sooty Centurion, and 6 is Miss Clover. And away they go, and 2 is well away. Luna Babylon. Magical Poppy has completely missed the kick, and 3 is trying to get up the middle. That's New and Lisa, but around the opening 2 bends, and Miss Clover is the one to catch, because she leads by about 5 lengths from Slippery Edda and 5 Sooty Centurion. So the outside dominating in her third race, and Miss Clover still has a healthy advantage. She's 4 clear, but Slippery Edda is closing her all the time, and we know she stays off the final bend. Miss Clover, Slippery Edda trying to close the gap, but she's not going to get there, and Miss Clover makes it 5 from 8, and she's made pretty much every yard to do it in really good style from Slippery Edda, who's finished second. Sooty Centurion might just have held on for third, but it was all about Miss Clover from Trap Rise, and she's done it in 28.90.
Yeah, a lot to take in these first few strides. Obviously, trap 1, Magical Poppy, completely stumbled out of traps. You know, what a difference a week makes. She has no chance at that point. Trap 2, though, Luna Babylon, and 3, New and Lisa. Just get involved there. New and Lisa doesn't get through. Luna Babylon and trap 2 finds traffic, and further traffic off the second bend. And while all of this is happening, Miss Clover is shot up the outside for the Moydrum Massive Syndicate, and I'm sure the Moydrum Massive are really enjoying watching this at home. She's clear into the third bend. Slippery Head, it does come with a challenge, but Miss Clover, she really does race to the winning line. You know, if you look at her card, there's a lot of run-ons and strong finishes and finishing well there, so she was never going to be picked up, and indeed she remains clear into the escape, and a good victory for trap 6, Miss Clover. She's building up a nice card for herself. That was 5 wins from 8 starts. Of course, she was aided by the traffic on the inside, and of course the completely missed kick of trap 1, Magical Poppy. We're going to watch it one more time. Just watch the inside trio. They're all in wars at this point, but 5 edging across Sooty Centurion made things tight on the inside, and all of a sudden Miss Clover shoots around the outside. Slippery Edda then moves into second as they enter the back straight, and it was all about these two from there on in. Sooty Centurion qualifying in third spot. The remaining trio never really got a chance to play a part in proceedings, but trap 6, Miss Clover, a lot to like about her. She gave away a little bit of ground around the final 2 bends, but one straightening up, she continues to gallop on right to the line. From in second spot for Slippery Edda, and back in third was 5 Sooty Centurion. Yes, indeed, an eventful contest to say the least, but it was Miss Clover who got the clear run on the outside of the track, and she ran very well, 28.90. She's building up quite a nice card, as we've said. That was her 5th victory, should I say, from 8 races. Rob, a lot to like about that. Miss Clover on the outside, she was she made the most of basically inside traffic problems. There wasn't anything particularly impressive about it, apart from the fact that she just went about her business.
Yeah, and obviously when we go for the inside traps, it was just the way it worked out. Nothing went really right for the inside runners, as you said. Magical Poppy completely missed the kick, but the winner deserves plenty of credit. She's obviously very, very consistent, because as we both said, she's now 5 from 8, and when you get a youngster who's winning, and it's hard to get out of that winning habit. And for the guys who were involved, the lads and ladies of the Moydrum Massive Syndicate, they now have a semi-finalist in the Shelbourne Park Puppy Oaks. Must be a great thrill. Hopefully they're watching on, and no doubt they've an exciting 7 days ahead of them.
4, 5, 2, 1.
Puppy Oaks perhaps not having the star names, but we'll make up for that in the final heat. There's 2 really, really potential stars in that one. They are parading at Limerick. It is an A3 525. I think we might join Barry in just a moment or two and get his views on this contest, the GRIreland.ie A3 525. Barry?
Yes, thanks, Ian. Most of these here now are returning from some sort of a layoff. In fact, 5 of the 6 are returning from a break. So I think the ones to concentrate on here are traps 2, Ruby Jackson, and trap 6, Tally Ho Blaze. I'll let Mal go through the parade ring and then pop back to me for a bit more analysis.
Cork, James and Kieran have same over Pogba. Next up for Ger Kerwin and Garrod Kelly, their runner is Groovy Jackson. As we move on to the white jacket of the owned and trained Speedy Jet for Padraig Fannin of Ennis, County Clare. Next up for Padraig O'Lone, it's Diamond Ria, Trap 4. This is the Greyhound Racing Ireland.ie A3525, and the fifth runner is Kanja Gunn for John Meehan and Pat Conlon. And the last of these 6 runners is for Irma Wall, and her runner is Tally Ho Blaze, Rathkeil, County Limerick. Those are the runners.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at our 3 against the field here. Trap 2, Groovy Jackson. The first we're going to take a look at for Garrod Kelly and Gerard Kerwin, son of Droopy's Jet and Zari class. He's won 2 of his 3 starts to date over 4 bends, but it's 2 sprint runs. There's 2 sprint trials to catch the eye, an 1888 and an 1896, which suggests he has plenty of early dash. He was picked up in his last 4 bend start in February 13th, but he clearly has a bit of early speed and he's potentially the pace setter here. Next, we're going to take a look at Ganja Gun. Ganja Gun, owned by Pat Conlon, John Meehan, a son of Shavatar and Kalinan Reina. Yet to win a race after 3 starts, but does have a 29.20 in its card running on that occasion. So if there is a bit of early speed on the inside and they do get a bit involved, perhaps the likes of 5 Ganja Gun will be finishing well. And out in Trap 6, Tally Ho Blaze, 4 times a winner from 10 outings. He just turned 2 in January. In 1904 trial last time out would suggest he's in good nick, and he is well housed as a sole wide seed. An intriguing affair. Barry, you have a few moments before they go to traps.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, I got to echo your sentiments there about Groovy Jackson. Two fabulous sprint trials. 1888 really does catch the eye last time, and he's a decent card. 2 wins from 3. Similar comments can apply to Trap 6. Tally Ho Blaze, he's 4 wins from 10. Won a couple of decent races at the back end of last year and came back with a nice trial, 1904. One that might be worth throwing in the mix in trios and forecasts. Just by the way, the first 2 trios at Limerick, 193 and €83, so might be worth a play. Is Trap 5, Ganja Gun. His dam, her best form was over 600 yards, and also he's a full brother to Coolmore Buzz, who's won 2 Open 750s recently at Shelbourne Park. His card doesn't read great, but he did qualify well, qualified in 29.50 in Galway, and he has met trouble in running. So maybe at a price, Ganja Gun could be the one to throw in the mix for forecast and tricast. So I'll go with 5 Ganja Gun to beat 2 Coolmore Jackson. Over to you, Matt.
We're in traps here. Same over Pogba, Groovy Jackson, Speedy Jet, Diamond Ria, Ganja Gun and Tally Ho Blaze. Away from traps they go. 5 doesn't get away smartly. 6 does. Tally Ho Blaze on the outside of these stripes. Groovy Jackson going nicely as well, the favourite. Forced to check, and 6 has built up a nice head of steam down the far stretch in our 3rd race here at Limerick. 6, 2 and 5. Trap 6 is Tally Ho Blaze to the good by 6 lengths, moving to the 4th bend. 5 Kanja Gun trying to close the gap and does so suddenly. Here's the final turn. 6 from 5. It's between them as they head towards the line. 5 finishes best of the pair to win it. That's Ganja Gun for Pat Conlon and John Meehan from Tally Ho Blaze. The winning time 29.03.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's good to see that we still haven't quite lost our touch. The 3 we gave as our 1, 2, 3, well, they were first, second and third down the back straight, and in the end it was Ganja Gun that came through. Ganja Gun completely left in boxes. You see on the outside Tally Ho Blaze showing good early speed, but nothing like Trap 2 Groovy Jackson, who barged through dogs to get to Trap 6 in the corner, but he ran off, gave himself an awful belt. 6 seemed to ride it very well and has raced on by 5-6 lengths. At this stage Ganja Gun though has started to show some improvement. He's really motoring around the bottom 2 bends, and by all accounts looked like he was carrying enough momentum to pick up the leader, and that's exactly what he did. Ganja Gun powering up the home straight to win in 29.03. He's after leaving a bit of time on the track, so it'd be no surprise to see this fellow going faster in the very near future. Trap 6 in second spot, Tally Ho Blaze running very well in defeat. Trap 2 Groovy Jackson may have finished out of the first 3, but did show enough to suggest he'll be winning plenty more races. As you see up the inside, Trap 2 Groovy Jackson running right off the corner as 6 cut across, and when the 2 of them connected, 6 seemed to ride it just all that much better. 5, Ganja Gun has found himself into second spot, joining trap 2, Groovy Jackson, passing halfway. And once doing so, well, he was always moving with menace, and he got up in the closing yards to win for Pat Conlon and John Meehan. Congratulations, their son of Shavatar and Klein and Reina winning well. I've seen one or two of this little run. They all seem to stay on very strongly. Meanwhile, we'll be joining Rob for just the second half of the parade here at Shelbourne Park in the 30s of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks.
Of Skywalker Farlow and La Linea. This is Town Penny Ian, and she's 3 from 4, and she's 3 from 4 here at Shelbourne Park, so she's one with a big chance in this 4th race. In 3 is Coolidary Wings for Cora Doyle in Wexford. She's no looking 5 starts today, but she did get to the final of the Michael Fortune Champion Unrace down in Escorty, so she's clearly very talented, and she's also a daughter of Droopy's Jet. In 4 is Infield Jasper for Barry Clancy and Aaron Downey, a 2-time winner from 7 starts. Got in as a lucky reserve last week and made the most of that luck by winning in 29.06, and she's a daughter of the English Derby winner, JT Jet. 5 is Diego's Misty for Kern Russian in Essex, England, trained by John Byrne. She's 1 from 3 so far. That win did come at Limerick, and she'd a little bit of traffic problems last week, so a clear run tonight, and no doubt better will be expected. And in 6, it's the only wide seed, and that's Tully Mariala for Eamon McGinn and Downpatrick. 1 from 5 about this daughter of Avatar and Muchas Gracias. She's trained by Damien McGinn, and she's another who could go up early. So it's our 4th race, Heat 3, the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525 round 2. So far, the trios here at Shelbourne have played very, very healthy. And remember, if you're not in, you can't win.
Yeah, if you can't in, you can't win. The one dog we did miss in the parade was Trap 1, Susie Sapphire, and it just so happens that she is one of my 3 to follow. So Susie Sapphire racing in the red jacket for Owen McKenna, Peter Comerford, a well-bred daughter of Droopy's Jet and Jetstream Links. Jetstream Links was a precocious youngster here in Ireland. Some massive runs on her card, both over 4 and 6 bends. She went over to England where she became a top stayer. And this lady, Susie Sapphire, showed plenty of pace in defeat last week. She will improve for it. She has a 28.77 trial on her card. A big 28.77 race win on her card here at Shelbourne Park. She's well housed in the fence, and if she did come away running, well, she'd be thereabouts at the finish. Trap 2 is the next. We're going to take a look at Town Penny. 28.82 in victory last week, the fastest of these last week. She showed good pace and determination to get into the opening corner, get to the front off the second bend or into the second bend, and win well for Sean Dooley and AJ Dooley, a daughter of Skywalker Farlow and La Linea. She's 4 races, 3 wins, nothing wrong with her strike rate thus far. And the last we're going to take a look at is Infield Jasper. 29.06 last week, coming in as a reserve to score, but there was nothing lucky about her success. She showed good determination, good bit of track craft, the opening bend, similar to Town Penny. She took up the running as they entered the back straight and went on to win in good style by a neck, all the same. The rallying Sooty Centurion was coming back at her. She may need to improve to win a race of this quality, but it's perhaps the weakest of the 4 heats. There's no question about that, but I would expect 1 or 2 of them to improve for last week. A couple of the runners that we didn't mention, Coolidary Wings, she was out of luck last week. She was also out of luck in the final of the Future Champion and Michael Fortune Memorial Unrace Stake down at Enniscorthy. She looked at a real strong running type down there. She's yet to win a race, but that'll happen soon. 5 Diego's Misty for John Byrne and Kern Russian, 1 win from 3. And out in 6, Tullamary Olive for Damien McGinn. This lady has a 28.95 on her card around Dundalk. It's an intriguing affair, Rob. You can't definitively say which dogs will win, which dogs won't win. It's just one of those races where they all have their own individual claims. An intriguing contest. They'll be going to Trap shortly. What's your vote?
Yeah, intriguing is right, and as we've seen in the opening 2 heats, anything can really happen. I suppose what we've seen so far, a few have been inconsistent with the traps, and that's one thing that Town Penny hasn't been in her 4 starts to date. She very rarely misses it. She's 3 from 4 at Shelbourne, and I suppose early pace is going to be the key. So Town Penny in Trap 2, I think if you're doing a 3 or anything like that, put her in. We still have a couple of minutes to go in until the next to the heat. So will we have a quick look at the big race tonight, the Shelbourne Open 600? Obviously, Beach Avenue is a hot favourite, and that was before Monbeg Zinzan was an absentee. Is it a case that he just gets a clear run and he wins, or are you expecting something else?
Indeed, that's the big question, Rob. He is well housed in Trap 6. As you know, Monbeg Zinzan may not have been challenging in the early yards anyway. If he was going to do anything, he'd probably edge inwards. But, you know, The big question is where Beach Avenue is in relation to the likes of Pierno, Ballymac Wild, Billy's Diva on that opening corner. If he gets clear under the back straight, I think Beach Avenue will win. I know the Healy clan will be watching at home. I'm sure many of the Hennessy clan will be watching from home. Beach Avenue is very much the greyhound to beat in the contest. But he is taking on some real stars in the form of Billy's Diva and Ballymac Wild. And of course, you can't ignore the other two, Pierno and Razzle Dazzle Peaky, who's been such a consistent individual through his career. It's a great find to look forward to, Rob. I'm going to side with Beach Avenue, and I'm sure you'll probably side with something similar. Meanwhile, they're going to boxes for this next heat of the Puppy Oaks, Rob, so take it away.
Yeah, that big final, of course, is it's coming up a little bit shortly. I think it's race 6 in the night, so it's not too far away. But they are loading for Heat 3 of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and the last couple are going in. Remember, the trio so far tonight here at Shelbourne, all of them have paid 3 figures, so last chance to get involved. They're all in. And the hair running for our 4th race. In 1, Susie Sapphire. 2 is Town Penny. In 3 is Cooladary Wings. 4 is Infield Jasper. 5 is Diego's Misty. And 6 is Tully Marie Olive. And away they go. 1 and 2 as well away. Susie Sapphire and Town Penny. And it's these two in that order who are going to lead around the opening 2 bends. So Susie Sapphire leads, but Town Penny is a big challenger. And Tully Marie Olive is on the heels of that duo. So halfway up the back, and Susie Sapphire now is increasing her advantage. And she leads by about 3 lengths from Town Penny. 4 lengths gap back to Tully Marie Olive in 3rd, but at the moment this is all about Susie Sapphire, and it doesn't look as though she's going to be caught, because she's going further clear and she's going to win in really good fashion. She's made all from 2 Town Penny, and from a long way back it looks as though Cooladary Wings might have booked her place in next week's semi-final, and a good time for Susie Sapphire because she's done it in 28.69, a personal best.
Yeah, it is early in her career, but it's already a personal best. 28.77 was her previous best. 28.69 tonight. And this lady, although she's bred to stay further, she looks about speed rather than stamina. And you saw her flying up the inside. She showed good early speed to increase her lead. She just checked once or twice around the opening 2 bends, but once straightening into the back straight, where she probably just had too much pace for her rivals. Just keep an eye. Trap 3, Cooladary Wings, isn't in the shot. She's certainly in the shot at the finish. But Trap 1, Susie Sapphire, well, a lot to like about this lady. Professional start, leads up the fence, doesn't move too far off the rails, and a good winner for Peter Comerford and Owen McKenna. She's sure to step forward in that on that sort of run, and she's only November 19. She's desperately young. She can only improve, and she's certainly one to keep an eye on in the coming weeks and months. And 2nd spot was Trap 2 Town Penny, again running a fine race for Sean and AJ Dooley, and back in 3rd Cooladary Wings. We might just take a look at her in the replay. Well, as you see, Cooladary Wins, missing the kick from Trap 3. She's going up, challenging for 3rd spot, loses her pitch at that point, easing slightly, and finds herself all of a sudden a long way adrift back in 4th spot. Meanwhile, out front, Susie Sapphire has mastered her rivals. She's racing on to a comfortable success. 2 Town Penny in 2nd spot, trying to stay with her. 6 is 3rd Tully Marie Olive. You just see the nose of Trap 3, Cooladary Wings, coming into shot. She absolutely motors up the home straight. She clearly has a bit of an engine, this lady. She's one to keep an eye on. But Trap 1, Susie Sapphire, a good winner. 1, 2, 3 is how they finish. Nice and easy. We won't be forgetting that one. 28.69. Well, as we say, the big racing here tonight at Shelbourne Park, the final of the Shelburne Open 600. Myself and Rob have already touched upon it. We'll be doing a bit more reviewing of it in a few moments' time. But before then, well, we have the semi-finals, the Con Annie Kirby Memorial to look forward to. Our man is down in Limerick, Barry. But before I go to Barry, just remember that Trap 1 in the opening he's Explosive Boy, and Trap 1 in the second he's Sing Along Sally. These 2 dogs absolutely made for the red jacket. They both have a great draw. They'll both be warm favourites. I'm not sure both will win. They probably will. I wonder, is that the way Barry sees it?
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, obviously 2 brilliant semi-finals to look forward to. I like one in the second semi-final, actually, at a bit of a price. Luminous Light. Just bear with me 1 second. See, if you look at this fella's card, he's only had the 5 runs, and off the bat you look at the card, 1 second, 1 third, no wins to his name. You sort of brush over him. But if you look back through his form, his first run was 29.70. He then went 29.10, 28.90, 29.50 and 28.30 last week, and there is only 5 runs, so he's shown massive improvement with each run. He was also in behind the Machine and Explosive Boy last week, and don't forget he was only beat 3 lengths. He's a good chance of leading up the Machine and Ballymacbelva tonight, and he could get a crack at Sing Along Sally. So remember, as I say, he's never been out in front on the bunny, so you'd expect him to improve a little if he does get out in front on his own. So Mal's just got to go and trade here for the next race at Limerick, and I'll join him after that. Over to you, Mal.
This is the Talking Dogs TV 5-5 race. For young Cormac Darvin of Brough in County Limerick, his runner is Con Annie. Next up, running from the blue, John Ryan of Tipperary owns and trains Call Me Sky. One of the great supporters of Limerick Track, John Ryan of Ballyneety, runs Sheedy Sis. Next up for Betty O'Sullivan of Castlemahon, her runner is Black Jill. Trap 5, trained by Pat Curtin of Mount Shannon in County Clare, Ardnasoul Stacey. That leads us on to Trap 6, Paul Cooney and his Rob a Job Syndicate. Their runner here, Dreamer's Disease. Those the runners for the Talking Dogs TV A4, A5, 5-5.
Yes, indeed. Well, we are getting close to the feature action, both at Limerick and Shelbourne Park. We have this A4, A5 to look ahead to, and the first we're going to take a look at in our 3 to followers. Call Me Sky. Call Me Sky, owned by John Ryan, a daughter of Silverhill Shea, New Lawn Mini. Can't say that I'm overly familiar with the pedigree, but it has a little bit of form in its card. 29.38 last time. Certainly coming forward, staying on that occasion. It's due a first success. The next we're going to take a look at in Trap 4 is Black Jill, owned by Betty O'Sullivan, a daughter of Ballymaceski and Marina's Blue. She's January 18th, so a bit of age on her side, but another one with a couple of run-ons on its card. 29.33 back last July. She'll need to reproduce that sort of form, but as I've said, it's a modest enough contest. And out in Trap 6 is Dreamer's Disease. Dreamer's Disease is owned by the Rob a Job Syndicate in Nina. P. Cooney down as the trainer. I wonder, is that our own Paul Cooney? This is a son of good news and looks like Tracy. 7 starts, yet to win a race, but again, in a contest like this nature, well, it has every chance. It's well housed as a sole wide seed. 29.40 in its card, 29.44, 29.45. It's one of those races where you could run it 5 or 6 times and get 5 or 6 different results. Barry, just quickly before they go to boxes, what's your view?
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, I actually like one here, the wonderfully named Dreamer's Disease. Us Greyhound folk, we all have the Dreamer's Disease. I currently have a 10-month-old pup with Martin Tucker down in Roscommon, and he's already won the Derby. So, yeah, named after that new radical song. I'm showing my age now. I watched his video here last week. He ran quite well. He came away okay. Stayed and steered a wide course all the way around and ran on 29.40. So that was his first run back after a brief layoff. Any improvement on that, maybe a 29.20, 29.15 run, could see him hard to peg back. Of the rest, Ardnasoul Stacey, obviously a sister of top sprinter Ardnasoul Jet, and Call Me Sky. She's another one with stamina-laden pedigree. So I expect Dreamer's Disease to set the pace and be chased home by Call Me Sky. But this is one of my better bets on the card, Dreamer's Disease. So the Rob a Job Syndicate, I'm awful sorry. Over to you, Mal, for the commentary.
Loaded for the Talking Dogs. Con Annie, Call Me Sky, Sheedy Sis, Black Jill, Ardnasoul Stacey, Dreamer's Disease. There has been malfunction here for the 4th race, the Talking Dogs TV A4, A5, 5-5. Dogs will be taken from traps and reloaded shortly. Race 4 didn't get off and running here at Limerick. But as we look forward later on to the Con Annie Kirby Memorial Stadium, ahead of that we do have...
Yes, unfortunately the traps failed to open there. The hare has just stopped beside me here at the first bend. So obviously protocol is now all dogs will have to be removed from traps and checked over by the vet. Hopefully it's just a simple issue and we can get back into action shortly enough. So as I said, just going through that race there, yeah, Dreamer's Disease. Dreamer's Disease, he was seeing a bit of the support during the week. We priced the racing up on BetDAC. He was 9-2, now into 2-1. But hopefully we get back in action here shortly. Ian, back to you in the studio.
Indeed, it's one of those things, Barry. It happens. Speaking of the new radicals, Barry is sporting the Greg Alexander haircut, let it be said. That's a long time ago, Barry. You really are showing your age. I suppose I'm showing my age too, to be honest. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, gives us an extra moment or two to look ahead to the final heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks. And this is the clash that we've been most looking forward to of these 4 heats. It features, of course, Burgess Cassie, who set the standard last week with a brilliant 28.33 return, and Ballymac Orna, who posted a very decent 28.42. She looks a real bright prospect. And of course, her 2 brothers, Ballymac Merlin and Ballymac Belvolt, are racing in the Kirby a little bit later on. Hopefully it won't be too long delayed at Limerick. We don't want to miss too much of the action there. We will be going off air at 10 o'clock. I'm sure we'll have the 2 semi-finals of the Kirby over and done with by then. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, this Heat 4, we'll just go through my 3 to follow. We might as well get it out of the way as early as we can, because that'll give us extra time to chat about the race itself. So this 4th heat of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, the runners will be parading in just a moment or two. I'll go through my 3 to follow and then we'll lead over to Robert. The first one I'm going to take a look at is, of course, Trap 1 Burgess Cassie. Burgess Cassie, the fastest winner last week in 28.33 for Sheila Spillane and JJ Fennelly. They have produced so many stars over the last number of years. Great supporters of the sport and some really talented with a greyhound. It's an October 19 whelp. She really is going the right way. 28.49 trial, 28.33 last week. And if she hits the lids again, she'll be very hard to stop. The next I'm going to take a look at is Trap 3 Native Polly, having just her 2nd career start last week. She stayed with Ballymac Orna for much of the way. She had loads of pace into that 3rd bend. Her mother, Ravenswood Margot, was a graded performer here at Shelbourne Park. Never raced outside Shelbourne Park. Native Polly, well, she has the talent to race wherever she wants. She's looks a really bright prospect. She should improve. She does 28.69 in the trial, 28.84 in defeat last week, but showed plenty to like. And the last we're going to take a look at is obviously Ballymac Orna for Declan Burlin. And I Can't Believe It Syndicate. And this one, the I Can't Believe It Syndicate, contains the likes of Pat Dobbs, Alan Dobbs and Pat Cosgrave. So a couple of really top jockeys involved in this one. Trainer Declan Byrne, of course, the connections already responsible for the Oaks winner, Ballymac Beanie, and this daughter of Vulturi and Ballymac Bell. As I said, she's a sister to Ballymac Belvolt and Ballymac Merlin, who'll be racing in the semi-finals of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial a little bit later on. She's a daughter of Vulturi and Ballymac Bell. 28.42 last week. She's a good starter and she stays strongly. She really did race to the line last week, and perhaps that's where she's doing her time. Perhaps she may be a little bit vulnerable to real early speedsters, but well, we'll soon find out, because this is definitely her most severe test to date. As you can see from the shots there, they are making their way down the walkway towards the parade area. We'll go to Robert in just a moment. The 3 I didn't mention, Killpipe Blue. She ran well in the Brownstown Tango Newbridge Track Supporters Club unraced down at Newbridge. 28.89 in her first start here at Shelbourne Park. Beaten well on that occasion. She found traffic last week, did show pace down the back straight. She will need to improve. She remains a maiden. 4 Kildallan Pearl flew home in defeat last week. She'll need to improve early, but she's certainly fast. She's one with a bright future, perhaps over further. And out in Trap 6, Wishful Peril, another youngster, having just his first start last week. This is a sister to the Luna Babylon we saw earlier on. She can improve. Rob, they're on parade for this 4th heat of the Puppy Oaks.
Yeah, 4th heat, and an intriguing 4th heat as well, our 5th race of the night. The first on parade is Burgess Cassie for Sheila Spillane and JJ Fennelly, a 2-time winner from 5 stars. She posted the fastest time here last week in 28.33. She's a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Burgess Madam, and on last week's times, she is the one to beat. 2 is Killpipe Blue for William Codden Arklow, trained by Graham Holland. No looking 6 starts today, but she has been placed in 4 of those, and of course, Graham Holland has a knack of winning this competition, so don't rule her out. 3 Native Polly for John Kelleher in Kildare. She's 1 from 2 so far. That win came at Newbridge, and she ran here well last week. She's a daughter of Native Chimes and the Shelbourne Park regular Ravenswood Margot. 4 is Kildallan Pearl for Noreen Weir. She is a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Mag's Image. She's trained by David Murray. She was a big eye catcher here last week when staying on behind Magical Poppy, and she is a 4-time winner as well. 5 is Ballymac Orna for the I Can't Believe It Syndicate, trained by Declan Byrne. 2 wins from 4 starts. Second fastest in last week's first round heats when posting 28.42. She starts and stays, and she's got a massive chance. And in 6 is Wishful Pearl for Bernard Farrell, trained by Jane Hegarty. Caught the eye in her track debut last week when staying on to finish second behind Town Penny. She's a daughter of Drewby Sydney and Ballymac Fifi, and an improvement from last week could see her book her place in next week's semi-final. So it's our 5th race, the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks 525, the concluding heat of the second round.
Yes, indeed, folks. Well, just an update on Limerick. The hare did go past the trap, so it's not a hare problem, which is good news. Hopefully, it was just a malfunction with the trip, and the dog should be going back to traps fairly shortly. We will keep you up to date. Of course, the next 2 races at Limerick are graded races, so hopefully they will make up some time. We will be back on schedule for the Con Annie Kirby Memorial Semi-Finals. That's not official. I haven't been told that. I'm just guessing from experience. Again, we will be getting back to Limerick, hopefully, very shortly indeed. Meanwhile, we will focus our attention at Shelbourne Park. The dogs going to traps for the next heat of the Puppy Oaks. The big 2 here, of course, Burgess Cassie and Ballymac Orla. Let's join Rob.
Yeah, big 2 indeed, Ian, and there's very little to split them in last week's time. The best part of a length and a half, and as you mentioned, Burgess Cassie did nothing wrong. But if you're trying to pick one over the other, maybe Ballymac Orna, she's had 1 race less, so there might be a little bit more improvement. And as you said, she maybe just has a little bit more stamina than Burgess Cassie. And we'll get a good idea of how well the track is running tonight, because they're both in the same traps as they were 7 nights ago, and they've recorded 28.33 and 28.42. So if either or both of them hit the lids, which is ideally what we want to happen, we might see a really good run. But they are loading for our 5th race. It's the concluding heat of the second round of the Shelbourne Puppy Oaks, and just like our opening 3 heats, the first 3 will qualify for next week's semi-finals. Last couple going in. And the hare running for our 5th race. In 1 is Burgess Cassie, 2 is Kilpipe Blue, in 3 is Native Polly, 4 is Kildallan Pearl, 5 is Ballymac Orna, 6 is Wishful Pearl. And away they go. Burgess Cassie is well away, as is 4 Kildallan Pearl and 2 Kilpipe Blue. There's 4 in a line into the opening bend, but Burgess Cassie gets round in front, but in behind her Ballymac Orna is trying to get a run, although 4 has moved into second. That's Kildallan Pearl, but it's Burgess Cassie by 3 lengths from Kildallan Pearl. We know she stays, and she could be a danger to this leader into the 3rd bend, and Burgess Cassie still leads 4 Kildallan Pearl. She's trying to close the gap, but at the moment she has it all to do, and Burgess Cassie is going to follow up from last week and make most in a really good fashion. Second was Kildallan Pearl. It's tight for 3rd, but from the 1st bend onwards it was a 1 Greyhound race. Burgess Cassie has made it 3 from 6, and she's done it the fastest time of the second round, 28.45.
Yes, indeed. Fastest last week, fastest this week. Burgess Cassie, a fine win again. Got a bit tight in the middle of the track. You see trap 5, Ballymac Orna, showing good early speed to challenge into the bend. 2 lost his place early, Kilpipe Blue. But off the second bend, it looked like 5, Ballymac Orna, was going to challenge for second spot. But she took another bump and, had to get racing again. But out front, Burgess Cassie has made the best of her way home, hitting the front early. 4, Kildallan Pearl. Of all the runners in the race, if you were on trap 1, 4 wasn't the one you wanted to see second spot, because it absolutely flew home last week. But on this occasion, Burgess Cassie, well, again, she runs right to the line. She's a real talent, this lady. She's going places. Second spot was for Kildallan Pearl, and back in 3rd to Kilpipe Blue, denying Ballymac Orna a place in the semi-finals. We will be taking another look at that contest now in a moment. Meanwhile, at Limerick, hopefully, we'll be back up and running. They'll be going to traps shortly enough for this 4th race at Limerick. Hopefully, you won't miss any of the action. But for the moment, let's look back at that contest again here at Shelbourne Park. Again up the inside, Burgess Cassie making a good start. She had a perfect pitch, in fairness to her. Didn't show devastating early speed or anything like it, but she was in the perfect pitch to go round in front. 4 Kildallan Pearl went up better than last week, turns a good second, and really does stay on very strongly in second. Back in 3rd spot, you see 5 Ballymac Orna probably trying to clear trap 2. Kilpipe Blue at that 3rd bend, couldn't do so. Kilpipe Blue goes on. She's strong herself at Kilpipe Blue. She's capable of a big run, and I'm sure that may come in the coming weeks. But no, a good victory for Burgess Cassie. That's 2 rounds down. She's been the fastest in both the opening and the second round. 28.45 tonight. A lot to like about it. One man we haven't spoke to about the big race here at Shelbourne Park, which is coming up next, of course, is Barry Caul down in Limerick. Barry, you were here for the semi-finals. What's your take on the big final tonight? I know you do like to think outside the box.
Yeah, you can say that again. Just a quick update on Limerick, Ian, while I have you there. So the plan is, if they are running slightly behind, they're still going to run the Kirbys 2 time and maybe run the likes of the 4th race later on in the card. So that's the plan at the moment, but hopefully we get sorted. As regards the big final, it's a real head scratcher all week. It's a real sort of a, no matter what wins this race, you look back and you'll say, yeah, he could have been back. You can easily see Razzle Dazzle Peaky, what a class performer he is. He's a consolation derby winner. He could go up, hold his pitch on the inside, and he's strong enough. It was only because Beach Avenue turned behind him last week. He was only beaten 5.5 lengths. I know only, but still. But Billy's Diva, again, if she pops out, she can easily pop out and make all. You have Ballymac Wild in 3, a Derby finalist, and then you have Pierno, the puppy in the race. I think this fella could surprise a few. He's clearly the most naturally early paced dog in the field. I think he could lead early. He does slightly move to his left. He could just cause the others to bunch up a little bit. And I met Tommy O'Donovan on the way down actually at Junction 14 garage. I stopped in for a second and I was having a quick chat with him, and he fancies his chances. He reckons there's a little bit more improvement in the dog, and as we've seen last week, he did stay on that little bit stronger. So maybe a 10 or 11 to 1 chance. He looks a likely leader. There could be a little bit of trouble in behind. I know with maybe only 4 in behind him, that's less likely to happen. But at a big price, I think Pierno has a big chance, Ian.
Yeah, I knew we could depend on Barry thinking outside the box. I think, in fairness, a lot of people are thinking something along those lines too, that Pierno could easily set a strong gallop. And, in these big finals, if you're out in front, well, it's the place to be. It takes only just a little bit of traffic in behind amongst the principals to allow Pierno to slip clear. And as you said, he's an improving greyhound. He has a bit of age in his side. He's not overly young, but he's certainly very fast and very talented. And the way he goes into that corner, 5.88 last week, that's over a length faster than anything else in the stake, or a length faster than anything else at the stake to this point. For Ger Hutton and Tommy O'Donovan, they've already claimed a classic in recent months, with Epic Hero winning the Limerick Ledger the back end of last year. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, we'll be getting ready for the big one very shortly. At Limerick, you heard Barry suggesting that they may skip that 4th race, run it at the end of the card, and that means that we won't be too far behind schedule as regards the Con Annie Kirby Memorial Semi-Finals. That's good news, especially for those of you watching here tonight on Talking Dogs TV. Shelbourne Park. Let's focus on the big one, the final of the Shelburne Open 600. Robert suggested it's been run since 1964. Paul Hennessy has won it 6 times with some really star names, the likes of Johannestown Cash, Late Late Show, Ardkill, Jamie, Tyre, Ted. Just those 4 are 4 of the best greyhounds I ever remember growing up as a young lad. There were some real stars. Tonight he's Beach Avenue, a red-hot favourite in Trap 6. Rob, I know we've spoken about the final already. Outside of Beach Avenue, where's the danger? Is it Billy's Diva? Hopefully that she clears Razzle Dazzle Peaky early, gets up the inside of Ballymac Wild. You never know. If she found herself in front of Pierno on the corner, he might just drift off and give Beach Avenue a bit of traffic. What's your thinking on the race itself?
Yeah, that is the way I'm thinking. I think if there is, well, there's obviously a danger to Beach Avenue. There's 4 dangers, but I think Billy's Diva, with the greatest respect to Ballymac Wild and the other 2 greyhounds, she is the one I think that Paul Hennessy has to fear most. You look at her run 2 weeks ago, 32.24, and even last week she's staying well. She's seeing out this 600 trip really, really well. And I think if Beach Avenue's to get beat, something's going to have to stay really well. In fairness to Pierno, as you said, he's done the fastest section of the competition so far, but he's getting picked up after doing that 5.88 last week. And whatever wins is going to have to tick all the boxes. You're going to need to start, you're going to need to stay the 600 very well. It's such a long run in from that final bend, as we've seen so many times, to the second winning line. It's such a long run in. That's something Beach Avenue has in his favour. But if he's to get beat, there's going to have to be a greyhound with plenty of stamina, and I think Billy's Diva is the main danger to Beach Avenue. But what a race. We might only have 5 greyhounds, Ian, but what a race we've got coming up.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I feel like I have to defend my old pal, Ballymac Wild. He was one of the stars of 2020, winning the Juvenile Classic. Of course, he was second in the Champion Stakes. He reached the final of the Derby. A little bit unlucky. He was thereabouts into the opening corner, just didn't quite get around. He was also a finalist in the Kingdom Derby, and who could forget, he was also a red-hot favourite to win the Limerick Ledger. So, Can Ballymac win tonight? Well, I think he can. I thought he ran on very strongly last week. We've yet to see him take one of his flyers from boxes. He's in trap 3 tonight, the flying trap as regards the starters. And if he does happen to hit the front in the opening yards, well, he's a very, very strong running tracker. I think he really is a big threat to both Beach Avenue and, of course, Billy's Diva. It'd be very interesting to see how that opening 5 strides happens. Meanwhile, I've got some bad news from Limerick. Apart from the traps issue, it seems the hair rail is causing a bit of issue too. So hopefully we'll be back on track there very shortly indeed. I'm sure they'll do all they can to get the Con Annie Kirby Memorial Semi-Finals in this evening. Of course, we also have the Sean O'Connor second round down there, the likes of Romeo Magico, who was such a star performance in that opening round. We are looking forward to seeing them in action. Hopefully we will get to see them, but I'm afraid at the moment we're very much in the lap of the gods. We need the track staff down there to do their damnedest. I'm sure Tommy Bolton and all down in Limerick are absolutely flying. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, the Greyhounds have left the weight room complex. Barry, just your final thoughts on the Shelbourne 600 down in Limerick. I know you're watching, and maybe an update on proceedings down there at Limerick.
And to say Tommy Bolton is working frantically is an understatement. He is flying around the place, he's doing his best, and I'm not giving him any, I'm not making it easy for him, saying it wouldn't happen in Shelbourne Park, just to wind him up. Just give you a quick show of betting, live betting for the final, Ian, courtesy of BetDac. Razzle Dazzle Peaky, currently 12-1, 7-4, almost 15-8 now, Billy's Diva. Ballymac Wild is a 6-1 chance. Perno is 12-1, and Beach Avenue is even money. Plenty of money there to back Beach Avenue at even money. So, as I say, poor old Tommy, we're not giving him any peace down here, but hopefully we'll have things back up and running shortly again.
Yeah, thanks for that, Barry. Yeah, hopefully we're back up and racing here at Limerick, or down there at Limerick very shortly indeed. As we said, we don't want to disturb Tommy Bolton in this process. He's doing all he can to make sure we get back up and racing very shortly indeed. Any updates we get, we will pass them on to you. Meanwhile, for the next here at Shelburne Park, the final of the Shelbourne Open 600, one of the most famous events on the calendar, one of my favourite events on the calendar. As we said, it's been won by some true stars in the past, and no doubt this year we'll see another star emerging triumphant in just over 5 minutes from now. Rob, they're on parade for the final of the 600.
They sure are. The big one coming up, and the Greyhounds are parading for the 2021 Shelburne Open 600 final. In one is Razzle Dazzle Peaky for the Kildare-Kilcolgan Syndicate, trained by Neelius O'Connell, the winner of last year's Boylesport Irish Greyhound Derby consolation final. If he breaks, he could shock one or two. In 2, we've got the only female in the lineup. That's Billy's Diva for Marie and John Kennedy. She's won 8 from 18. She's unbeaten in the stakes. She's 3rd in the Easter Cup final, and she's bidding to be the first female to win this competition since Colorado Holly back in 1990. In 3, we've got Ballymac Wild for Liam Dowling, an 11-time winner from 32 starts, the son of Vulture. He's danced every dance. He won the Juvenile Classic. He's been a finalist of the Boylesport Irish Greyhound Derby, the Kingdom Derby, the St. Ledger, and he ran up the Champion Stakes. And when he did his fast run here last September, it was from trap 3, just like he's in tonight. 4 is Perno for Ger Hutton, the youngster in the syndicate, trained by Tommy O'Donovan, a son of Log Hill Blake and Miss Minnie Marvel, a 3-time winner from 16 starts, the likely pace setter early on, and if he can repeat that 5:88 sectional from last week, who knows what might happen. And then we've got the hot favourite, Beach Avenue, for Pat Healy and trainer Paul Hennessy. If we had a crowd here at Shelbourne Park, there'd be a big roar for this fella. Paul Hennessy has won this 6 times in the past, and this Beach Avenue was sensational last week, recording the 3rd ever fastest time over 600 yards at Shelbourne Park. Can he do it tonight? He's 1 from 6 in trap 6, so that might be a little bit of hope to his opponents. Is that his Achilles heel? We'll have to wait and see. And remember, he ran up the Easter Cup as well just a few weeks ago when things didn't go his way. So that's it. We've got 5 top-class greyhounds going to traps for the big one of the night, one of the big ones of the year, the Shelbourne Open 600 final of 2021. And it's coming up live on Talking Dogs TV in a matter of moments.
Yes, indeed. Well, before the big one, we might as well take a look at the 5 runners, because they are all stars in their own right. Razzle Dazzle Peaky for Neelius O'Connell, Kildare-Kilcolgan Syndicate. He's won 9 of his 51 starts. His probably his Achilles heel is that last 50 yards into the bend, but he is a good starter. He will be well housed in trap 1, but he needs to be at his very sharpest on this occasion. If he doesn't lead on the bend, he's going to struggle. Next, we're going to take a look at trap 2, Billy's Diva. What a star this lady's been. Beaten a favourite in the Labrooks Easter Cup last week, but she's a real star. She's massive pace from start start to finish. Daughter, good news for John and Maria Kennedy. If she does hit the front, well, I've no doubt she's well capable of going on to land the spoils. She really is a superstar, this daughter of good news. Ballymac Wild is in trap 3, an unbelievable performer last year, the Juvenile Classic winner already, so has tasted big race success, went so close in so many competitions last year, including the Derby, the Ledger, the Champions Stakes and the Kingdom Derby. If he does hit the lids, and he's due a flying start, have no doubt about that, he is more than capable of winning this. 4 is Pierno. This fellow not due a flying start, he just gets flying starts. He's an absolute rocket into that opening turn, really suited by the long run to the corner. It's worth pointing out that last week when he was headed, he did rally in the closing yard, so he certainly gets the 600-yard trip, and who's to say he won't improve those 2 or 3 lengths, and if he did lead around the third bend, well, it could take some stopping, this son of Lohill Blake and Miss Minnie Marvel for Tommy O'Donovan. And out in trap 6, Beach Avenue. Well, the undoubted dog to beat in this contest. He posted one of the great runs over 600 yards last week. 32 seconds, a sensational run from the son of Lohill Blake and Catsbell, Paul Hennessy and Pat Healy. As I said earlier on, I'm sure the Healy clan are watching from their home base and will be screaming this fellow home. There really are great Greyhound people, real enthusiasts, and I know Beach Avenue is very much the apple of their eye. He certainly deserves to win a big one, having gone so close in the Ladbrokes Easter Cup. He flew home to pick up the likes of Great Name That and a certain Billy's Diva to grab second spot. One wonders, will he get his name on the illustrious list of the Roll of Honour for this great competition, the Shelburne Open 600. It's now time for me to hand over to Rob. Rob, take it away.
Yes, indeed, Ian. What a race in prospect. And as you can see, the jackets are coming off the 5 Greyhounds for this prestigious final. A final, as you said, goes back to 1964. Crannog Bet, the first ever winner of this prestigious competition. And as you said, Ian, Paul Hennessy is one of the likes of Johanstown Cash, Late Show, Tyrer, Ted Arkell, Jamie, Ringtown Snowy, and of course Liam Dowling, who's got Ballymac Wild, won it in 2015 with Ballymac Matt, and of course the most recent renewal with Ballymac Kingdom. What a race we've got coming up. And as you can see, the last couple are being loaded. So loading underway for the big one of the night, one of the big ones of the year here at Shelburne, the Shelburne Open 600 final. A big stake and a big purse up for grabs here. They're all in. And the hair running for the big one, the Shelburne Open 600 final of 2021. In 1 is Razzle Dazzle Peaky, 2 is Billy's Diva, 3 Ballymac Wild, 4 is Pierno, and 6 is Beach Avenue. And away they go. Pierno's well away again, as is Ballymac Wild. 1 Razzle Dazzle Peaky slow. Billy's Diva getting into gear, and Beach Avenue is going to turn forward around the opening 2 bends, but he's got a lot of work to do because off the second bend, and it's Pierno who is setting the gallop. Billy's Diva's going in chase, as is 3 Ballymac Wild, and Beach Avenue is starting to stay on, but he still has a mountain to climb around the top 2 bends, and this is where Ballymac Wild is challenging Pierno. It's Ballymac Wild, Pierno, Beach Avenue down the outside. Pierno, Ballymac Wild, Beach Avenue from the clouds. What a finish to the big one. A 3-way photo finish between Ballymac Wild on the out in the inside, in the middle of the 3 Pierno, and Beach Avenue with a late lunge in an absolute cracker. We've got to leave it to the judge. A 3-way photo for the final of the Shelburne Open 600 of 2021, and whatever's won it has done it in a winning time of 32:38.
Yes, indeed. Well, what exactly has won the Shelburne Open 600? It was an epic encounter. And, well, as you're about to see up the home straight, we'll go to the replays in a moment, but it got desperately tight. Trap 3, Ballymac Wild, just mastering Pierno, I feel. Here comes 6, Beach Avenue. He's made up absolutely eye-catching ground. A stunning finish, and that is desperately tight. That is about half a stride beyond the winning line. It's the little pole just shy of the light. That's the finish. That's where the photo finish is coming from. We have to await the judge in that one. That is desperately tight. I was saying to someone earlier on Twitter that I'm notoriously bad in the photo finish. Funnily enough, that 600 one is generally where I'm good because it's right under my nose in the commentary docs normally. But we are waiting on the final. We're waiting on the result of the 2021 Guinness, or beg your pardon, Shelburne Open 600. As you can see, Beach Avenue completely missed the kick. He finds himself well off the pace down the back straight. He comes with a withering challenge. Pierno has set an absolutely blistering gallop, a 5.82 sectional. That's purely sensational. 3, Ballymac Wild coming at him in second spot off the final turn. The pair go nip and tuck up the home straight. It looked like Ballymac Wild had mastered him, but Pierno coming right back on the line, and Beach Avenue absolutely mowing them down back in third spot. We're still still waiting for this result to go up in the infield. I just wonder if Rob has actually got the result. Rob, do you have the result?
Hello.
He's answering the call.
Thank you. Well, breaking news here on Talking Dogs TV. Ian, you called it right. Ballymac has hung on. Ballymac has won. Pierno has finished second. Beach Avenue's finished third. They're ringing again. Let's see what they have to say. Hello.
That was the most incredible finish. So let's watch it from the start. As you can see, Trap 4, Pierno absolutely rocketed out of boxes. He runs a career best without a question. He's 3 lengths clear into the opening turn. Ballymac and Billy's Diva have a great tussle for second spot. They clash, but Ballymac just gets the better of her. But just look at Beach Avenue back and forth spot. I didn't think he could pick up that much ground to challenge in the closing yards, but few greyhounds have ever come up the home straight faster here at Shelbourne Park. It's Pierno, but Ballymac switches to the inside and he launches his challenge. The pair, as I said, toe to toe, nose to nose to the line. Pierno coming back at him. I thought first look at the slow-mo replay that Pierno may have just got there to chin Ballymac with Beach Avenue absolutely mowing them down on the outside. A truly incredible finish. It's worth taking a look at one more time. When I say one more time, we're going to look at this finish. Just watching the far side, every sinew, every muscle has been stretched by Ballymac. Pierno coming back at him, and it's head up, head down. And just as I said, it's just that fraction before the light is where the photo finish is actually taken from. And that was the key. I don't think we can get the photo show up here this evening on our screens, but I can promise you we'll do our best to have it online on Talking Dogs early in the week. But an incredible finish, and it was Ballymac the winner for Liam Dowling. What a master trainer this fellow is, the son of Vulturian Ballymac Breeze. An incredible year last year. Again, you see him had to work for his position off the second bend, just getting the better of Billy's Diva, and once charging into that third bend, he was the one that got first run at Pierno, and that was all important. He's staying to the inside, Pierno staying just slightly off the rail, and that was the difference between winning and losing, because Ballymac got up his inside, but Pierno didn't shirk to the challenge. He came right back at him. Just watch though, Beach Avenue absolutely flying up the home straight, and another desperately tight finish in this final. I feel for those that were beaten in the photo finish, but my heartiest congratulations to Ballymac. What a star greyhound he has been. And again, we are waiting for reaction from the far side of the victory of Ballymac. Meanwhile at Limerick, we are hoping to get back up and racing very shortly indeed. Do you know what? I think we have the race ready and racing at Limerick. Let's take this one in, and we hope to get some reaction here at Shelbourne Park in just a few moments. Barry, can you just confirm what race this is?
I'm too engrossed in Shelbourne Park there. What a race that was. Poor old Pierno just nabbed on the line, but an absolutely brilliant race. This is the fourth race. If you remember back about 2 or 3 hours ago, I fancied Dreamer's Disease here in this. I still fancy him. Dreamer's Disease to beat Trap 2, Call Me Sky. So it was just a little problem with the rail up here, just come off. So hopefully Tommy Bolton has it all sorted. If not, he's back in serious trouble. But yeah, we should be good to go. The hare spun around 2 or 3 times with a couple of practice runs, and all seems good. So back to this race. It is race 4. We're slightly delayed, maybe about 20-30 minutes in behind. So I did say Dreamer's Disease in this one for the Robojob Syndicate. I expect him to lead out wide. Any improvement on his last run from last week, maybe improve 2 or 3 lengths from the 29.40, turn it into a 29.15 or a 29.20. I can't see him really being caught. There's a couple of these are out of form, a couple of these are into their 4th and 5th year, so I'll go with Dreamer's Disease. As I say, Call Me Sky is only a young bitch. She's well bred. Her dam was she won over 8 bends at Crayford, in fact. So this one is stamina laden. Hopefully she can get a good run, but not too close to Dreamer's Disease. So I'm going to go with 6 Dreamer's Disease to beat 2 Call Me Sky. The last one's just being placed in box, so we're going to head over to Mal Keaveney for commentary. Over to you there, Mal.
All set to go. Con Annie, Kirby Sky, Sheedy Sis, Black Jill, Arnasul Stacey, Dreamer's Disease. This is our 4th race, the Talking Dogs. Number 3 smartly into its stride. Sheedy Sis followed into the turn by Kirby Sky. Top 4 is third, Black Jill, as we head down the back stretch. The pecking order up front is 3 and 2, then it's 5, 4, 6 and 1 the back marker. Trap 2 leads at the second bend from the finish, Call Me Sky. Moving on nicely now as we hit the stand side at Limerick in our fourth race, 2 and 5. Trap 2 is Call Me Sky, going on to score a good win here from Ardersul Stacey. The win, Call Me Sky, John Ryan, Tipperary. The time, 29:14.
Yes, indeed. I took a quick seat. I had to take a rest after that final of the 600. I didn't get a warning from behind the screens over here. Anyway, we have reaction to the final of the Shelbourne Open 600. Alan Vaughan is with our roving reporter on the far side of the track.
Alan, well, what a tremendous performance. How did you see the race?
Jeez, I was just down at the pick-up really, to be honest with you. I kind of closed my eyes, but what a finish. What a finish, now in fairness. That dog, he's a tough dog. He deserved to hit the couple of crossbar a few times now, but that's long overdue.
Yeah, and did you think he'd get up?
To be honest with you, I hadn't a clue. To be honest with you, I hadn't an absolute notion.
Yeah.
In fairness, on that's been honest.
Yeah, and how did you see the race from going down the back straight? Did you think that...
I thought going on the back straight, he was in a good position, and like, he's a strong old stayer, in fairness. Like, so I just said to myself, if he's within distance, he'd pick it off towards the line. So look, in fairness, no, he did what he had to do.
But it was a tremendous final, and what would be the plans for him now?
To be honest with you, I haven't a clue. I'm only the handler, the team at home with it.
But he's been a great servant to the kennel.
Fairness, no. Top class, in fairness.
Well, congratulations.
No bother. Thanks very much.
Yes, indeed. I think he's from Kerry. In fairness, he was only short of saying Yera and up the kingdom as he finished it. He was wearing the gear. The accent is there. Alan, well done. You did a fantastic job. I'm sure Liam and Shane are watching on and more than delighted with the display of Ballymac Wild. What a star he's been. And he said well deserved. But of course, he was already a big race winner. He'd won the Juvenile Classic last year. But in terms of his last year's racing, he certainly deserved to win a big one. And tonight, he got there in one of the most epic finals that I can remember. Certainly in a Grade 1 Category 1 final like that. The Shelburne Open 600. That race will live long in the memory. Again, our condolences to the likes of Ger Hutton and, of course, the Healy's with Beach Avenue and Pierno as second and third. Your dogs ran unbelievable races in defeat. It just so happened on this occasion that Ballymac Wild got there by millimetres, and I mean millimetres. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, we don't have time to rest on our laurels. We move on. The next race is the Barking Buzz Open Sprint, and it just so happens to feature one of Ireland's, and indeed the world's best sprinters, Brodie's Magic. Rob, I'm sure you have a sweet spot for Trap 1, Brodie's Magic.
Yeah, absolutely, Ian. And of course, he's one of 2 track record holders running in our 7th race, this Open Sprint. So, Greyhounds are parading for race 7, the Barking Buzz Open Sprint. And one is Brodie's Magic for Tom Glynn and Offaly, trained by David Murray, one of the fastest Greyhounds in training. He is, of course, the track record holder at Dundalk, and he's posted 18:52 here at Shelbourne. Reproduction of that. And they'll all be racing for second. In 2 is Honda Jet for the Silk Cruise Syndicate, a 5-time winner from 13 starts, the son of Droopy's Jet. Some good runs at Cork and Thurles for this Honda Jet. 3 is Milrose Melody for Leanne Rafferty and Ross Cray, a 2-time winner from 13 starts, a son of Ballymac Matt, a real consistent sort as well. 4 is Dunham Knoll for Michael Corrin Tyrone, a 4-time winner from 6 starts, the second of the track record holders in this lineup. He holds a track record at Drumbo Park, and he comes here after a good win at Dundalk on his latest start. 5 is Badminton Donal for K.R. Hutton and S.G. Harvey in England, trained by Martin Lanny, a 7-time winner from 15 starts, a previous winner here at Shelbourne as well, the first of 2 wide seeds. And in 6 we've got Miss Mini Magic for Thomas O'Donovan, and trained by Tommy himself, a daughter of Loghill Blake, and Miss Minnie Marvel. She's the only female in the lineup, and she's a winner as well after posting a good clock at Tralee on her most recent start. And as we said, she's the second of the 2 wide seeds. So it's her 7th race. It's a red hot Open Sprint, and we've a couple of minutes to go until they make their way to traps.
Yes, indeed. Well, our 3 to follow. It won't surprise you that we're going to lead with Brodie's Magic, of course. This fellow is a real star. The 2 things he normally has to worry about is this trapping and getting to the fence. Well, he doesn't have to worry about getting to the fence because he's already on it. And if he does trap in level terms, there's scarcely a greyhound in training that can match this fellow to the opening bend. Trained by David Murray, the son of Droopy's Cane and Kilgowan Kiwi, holds the record at Dundalk for the 400-yard trip, 20:73. An absolutely stunning run. He is basically unbeatable here at Shelbourne Park of this sprint trip. An 18:59 trial just a week ago would suggest that he's in good spirits, and certainly if he does trap on terms, he's very much the one they have to beat. In November 17 whelp, and well, still going strong. 4 is Dunham Knoll, lightly raced for his age, but a very talented tracker. This fellow really came into the public eye when he broke a track record at Drumbo Park last August. That was on his debut, 17:52. An incredible run. If you break 18 seconds in Drumbo Park, at one point they were saying you were a good sprinter. Well, he did a half second nearly below 18 seconds. As I've said, he's lightly raced. He's won 4 of his 6 starts to date for Michael Corr, and he is a big player if he hits the lids. And out in trap 6, well, we mentioned this one, Miss Minnie Marvel, because she is lightly raced. She's open to plenty of improvement. She made a winning sprint debut last time in what was just her 4th career start for Tommy O'Donovan, who of course went so desperately close in the Shelburne Open 600 with Pierno. This daughter of Law Hill Blake and Miss Minnie Marvel recorded a very quick 17:47 at Tralee last time out, which would suggest that she's more than capable of being a top class sprinter. It'll be very interesting to see how she handles this run here at Shelbourne Park. Her first look at Shelbourne Park, certainly in competitive action. She may have been trialled here in the past, but it's certainly her first race start here at Shelbourne Park, and by all accounts she looks pretty promising. But Brodie's Magic, well, he's going to take some stopping. Rob, I'm sure you're of a similar enough opinion.
Absolutely, Ian. As you said, he's one of the fastest greyhounds in training. He broke the track record up in Dundalk in the Bar 1 Fair Warrior last year, and of course he did manage to win the final. And when we were chatting to David Murray earlier in the year, he said they want to go back to Dundalk and set the record straight. But we've got Dunham Knoll here, who obviously has managed to win at Shelburne. He's the other track record holder in the lineup, and he managed to win the Open Sprint and Gold Cup night in 1881. That was a really good race, and he managed to win that. So Brodie's Magic will have to come out if he's going to win this, because there are a couple of big dangers to him if he doesn't. But greyhounds like Brodie's Magic, they're greyhounds that get people to greyhound stadiums, and when things get back to normal, he's one that people are going to travel a long way to see. But they are loading for our 7th race, this Mouth-watering Open Sprint, the Barking Buzz app Open Sprint, and the last couple are going in. They're all in. The hair running for the Barking Buzz Open Sprint, and 1 Brodie's Magic, 2 Honda Jet, 3 Milrose Melody, 4 is Dunham Knoll, 5 is Badminton Donal, and 6 is Miss Minnie Magic. And away they go. Brodie's Jet is way well, as is Miss Minnie Magic on the outside, and 4 Dunham Knoll. So into the opening bend, and Brodie's Magic, he's going to have to fight to get in front, but that's exactly what he's done. And he leads around the opening 2 bends from Dunham Knoll, running wide as Miss Minnie Magic. But once he got to the front, it was only about 1 greyhound, and Brodie's Magic is surging clear to win again here at Shelbourne Park. In second was Miss Minnie Magic. Tied for third, possibly Dunham Knoll, but a brilliant time, and it's one of the fastest times for the sprint here at Shelbourne, because he's done it in 18:41.
Well, you can count on one hand the amount of dogs that have done sub 18:45 here at Shelbourne Park, and Brodie's Magic is now one of them. That was brilliant by this brilliant son of Droopy's Cane. He came away racing by his standards. Dunham Knoll really puts it up to him in the early yards. Miss Minnie Marvel arrives on the outside. Trap 3 though clips Dunham Knoll on the corner. Milrose Melody, Dunham Knoll, they clash. That allows Miss Minnie Marvel come through on the outside. But 1 Brodie's Magic, once he leads around that opening turn, he is a sprinter, but he's also massively strong over this trip. He flew up the home straight and wins in such impressive fashion. 18:41. Savour it, folks. That was a very, very special run by a top class sprinter. And once again, you're going to watch him in action here. I believe me, that's a flying start by Trap 1 Brodie's Magic standards. Once he came away on terms, he was always going to lead them into the opening turn. Dunham Knoll runs very well into the bend. He's clipped from behind, as you can see. In behind 2 and 5 also clash. Miss Minnie Magic, she did run well on her first start here at Shelbourne Park. She'll come on for that run. She'll win plenty of sprints given that display. But Trap 1 Brodie's Magic really was in a league of his own, a top class sprinter, and I'm sure Dundalk is very much the target with this fellow. Another crack at the Irish Sprint Cup, and we look forward to seeing him in action there. Well, we might actually get a chance to get some reaction from Robert. Brodie's Magic Robert, a joy to watch. Such a fluent mover up the home straight. He really is just one of the best sprinters we've seen in recent years.
Absolutely, and then, as you said, he's come away well for his own standards, and the key was just getting to that opening bend ahead of Dunham Knoll, because Dunham Knoll we know is no slouch, and you'd given Miss Minnie Magic a big shout prior to the off, and she's run a really good race. But once this lad is anyway close to the lead, he's nearly impossible to beat. And earlier on, obviously we thought if Beach Avenue was going to win the Open 600, he might go close to the clock, and with this lad, I had a look at best times around Shelburne, and would you believe his 18:41 is the joint third fastest at Shelburne. Obviously the record is 18:33, but to do 18:41, you knew it was good, but that's how good it actually is. The third ever fastest sprint time here at Shelburne, joint third, and he's such an exciting greyhound.
Yeah, that third fastest run ever was matching the old track record. Of course, Arden Asul Jet, one of the truly great sprinters of all time, broke it on 2 different occasions. That just goes to show how good he was. But trust me, Brodie's Magic is right up there. When you're thinking of the best sprinters of the last 10 or 15 years, he has to be in the equation. Just to give you an update on Limerick, folks, well, as you saw from our 4th race, we're back up and racing. We are going to stick to the same timings. It means we will get in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial Semi-Finals, but they'll be to the same times, only 2 races back. So we're kicking off the 5th race. It's going off the same time the 7th race was due to go off. So don't get lost, don't get missing out. Meanwhile, as you see, the dogs about to go on parade. So I think we'll join Mal before we get the wonderful thoughts of our own Barry Caul.
Our 5th race here at Limerick is the Bet on the Barking Buzz app, A2525. The first 3 runners, Belagore Sting, Daniel Clack. Trap 2, Joe Devaney of Nina in Tipperary, Pressure Rogue. For John O'Donnell of Charleville, Strandhill Queen. Next up we have Carrickmore Dizzy for Pat and Aoife Coffey. Trap 5 runs for trainer Pat Curtin of Mount Shannon. And Morgan O'Neill of Tipperary, One for the Lake. This is the Bet on the Barking Buzz app, A2525, which is race 5.
Yes, well, let's take a look at our 3 to follow in this 5th race from Limerick. Of course, we are 2 races behind in schedule, but we are sticking to the same time plan. One, Belagore Sting, a daughter of Lens and Panda. She has 3 wins from 13 starts, but it's a recent sprint form that catches the eye. An 1889 sprint trial at Limerick would suggest she can race a little bit. She's coming off a layoff, but clearly in good heart. The next we're going to take a look at is Trap 4, Carrickmore Dizzy. And this another bitch, a daughter of Law Hill Blake and Star Princess. She's won 7 of her 31 starts. Another one with sprint form in recent weeks. She's returning after a bit of a layoff, but a 17.94 return around Tralee would suggest she can run a little bit, and she has to be entering into the equation here. She is October 17, so she has a bit of age on her side, and owned by the P&A Coffee Syndicate. And the last we're going to take a look at is One for the Lake on the outside. The lightly raced runner in the lineup, having just his 3rd career start. Won well last time out in 29.03. An August 19 whelp, so open to plenty of improvement for Morgan O'Neill, and this son of Superior Product and Vic's Romance is certainly one of the leading fancies. I dare say if there was bookmakers on trap, this would be one of the favourites. Well, it begs the question. There was gremlins in the system down at Limerick. One wonders if there's a way of karma in us introducing a dub to the action down there rather than the bold Joe Sheehan. Joe, we'll have you back, so please take off the hoodoo. Meanwhile, we'll go down to Barry. Barry, you've a few seconds to give us your thoughts on this 5th race.
Yeah, just let you know, Ian, Shelbourne Park is 25 minutes from my house. Limerick is 2 hours and 25 minutes from my house. So there you go. Anyway, on to this race 5. It's the Bet on the Barking Buzz app, A2525. A couple of decent performers in here. Belagore Sting, as you say, Ian, he's been going well in recent trials, and he looks to have improved recently. Trap 5, Slippery Joe, racked up a hat-trick around here last October. Very well bred, capable on his day. I'm going to side with the lightly raced One for the Lake in Trap 6 for Morgan O'Neill. Qualified well, 29.49. No luck on his debut here, but made amends for that with a fine win, with a 5.5 length victory. Good section of the match in 29.03, and a repeat performance should suffice here. And obviously, he's due to improve a small bit. Of the rest, Strandhill Queen, she's a sprint winner of late, so she could go up well. She's lightly raced for her age, and she is returning from a layoff. Trap 2, Pressure Rogue, he's not the most prolific, but he has been knocking on the door. Half brother of the Derby winner Ballyan Sim, and he does have a 30-23 win over 5.52 as first name. So the last one is just about to load. We'll hand over to Mal Keaveney for the commentary of race 5. Over to you, Mal.
Runners in traps: Belagore Sting, Pressure Rogue, Strandhill Queen, Carrickmore Dizzy, Slippery Joe, One for the Lake. We're underway in the 5th race at Limerick, fairly level splits, 2, 4 and 5 looking for the lead early on. Slippery Joe has that lead. One for the Lake is second, One Belagore Sting is third. We're well down the back stretch in our 5th race. The Barking Buzz app A2525. Slippy Joe leads by a length or so on Pressure Rogue. 2 going well now, heading towards the final bend. 5 on the inside, 2 trying to round on the near side, going towards the line. 5 from 2. It's Slippery Joe from Pressure Rogue. The win for Pat Curtin. The time is 29:19.
Yeah, Slippery Joe, a former, or trained by a former Derby winning trainer, Pat Curtin. It's great to see Pat with a winner down at Limerick tonight. This son of Kisses for Clodagh and Royal Diva, certainly bred in the purple out of Royal Diva, who herself was a bit of a star. Slippery Joe, his problem here at Shelbourne Park was he rarely got to the corner in front. That didn't happen on this occasion. He led around the opening bend. He was always going to take some stopping, but trap 6 did show his inexperience into the 3rd bend. One for the Lake, travelling like a winner at that point, but as 5, Slippery Joe came back in. He checked up his stride, checks again between the last 2 bends. He's certainly a dog to keep an eye on, though. He'll win plenty more races. Trap 2, Pressure Rogue then emerged from the pack as the main threat to Slippery Joe, but again he drifts off the track and, well, does enough to go on and land the spoils. That was the 7th career success with Slippery Joe landing the spoils. As I said in a previous life, he was trained here in Shelbourne Park, owned by, of course, another legend, Larry Dunn. As you can see, Slippery Joe coming away well from trap 5, but he did show superior earlier to his rivals, getting around that opening turn. 1, trying to sneak up the inside, Belagore Sting, and 6, though, One for the Lake turning second. It looked a real threat into that 3rd bend, but as we're about to see once again, he does sort of shy away when 5 comes back into him. He checks again here between the last 2 bends, but it's all about trap 5, Slippery Joe at this point. Trap 2, Pressure Rogue does lay down a challenge, but Slippery Joe just drifts off a line and holds up trap 2, and that's enough to land the spoils. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, going on parade for the next. Let's join Rob.
Yeah, Greyhounds R&D parading for race 8 here at Shelbourne. The retired Greyhound Trust A1525. First on parade is Boxes for the Hovix Racing Syndicate, trained by Graham Holland. A one-time winner from 5 starts, but has done well in its other 4 starts. And getting a clear run tonight, Boxes could have a big chance of making it win number 2. In 2 is Droopy Status for Michael Dunphy, trained by Owen McKenna. Owen bidding for a double here tonight. This son of Lochteen Blanco, no looking 3 starts to date, but hasn't enjoyed the clearest of passages, and if he gets a clear run, well, the rest better watch out. In 3 is Pearsestown Kiwi for Seamus Whelan and Wexford, trained by Gary Dempsey, a 6-time winner from 17 starts, and has won here at Shelbourne as well as Enniscorthy in the past. 4 is Medusa for John Meelam and Sean Ryan, the only female in the lineup, trained by John Byrne, a 4-time winner from 17 starts, a winner at the likes of Clonmel and Limerick in the past. 5 is the youngster Glengoyne Pat for Damien Cunningham and Liam Curley, unbeaten in 2 starts today. Both of those have come at Newbridge and clocked a really good sprint trial of late here at Shelbourne. So if this lad hits the lids early, well, the rest better watch out. And in 6, we've got the only middle seed, which is Show Business for Jonathan Rolfe in Waterford, trained by Jonathan himself, a 7-time winner from 28 starts, and showed plenty of pace from halfway to win here in 28.82 on his most recent start. So this lad will be doing his best work, you'd have thought, from the middle stages of the race. So it is our 8th race of the night, the A1525, and once again our trios have been paying well here at Shelbourne, so don't be afraid to get involved.
Yeah, Rob, a big fan of the trios. Fair play to you, Rob, giving them a shout out. Moving on, this 8th race, the 3 we're going to take a look at. First, we're going to take a look at Boxes. Boxes only beaten a Lek last time out in 28.66. He's trained by Graham Holland for the Hovix Racing Syndicate, care of Graham Ash. The Hovix Racing Syndicate had some real talented greyhounds over the years. This fellow continues to improve. He's only had the 5 starts. He's only a June 19 whelp, son of Crahan Ronnie, who himself was a bit of a master of consistency, and Boxes is improving all the time. I think he's well housed in the fence. If he hits the lids, he could be hard enough to stop. Next, we're going to take a look at trap 4, Medusa for John Byrne and John Meelam and Sean Ryan. Adora, good news, and JT Osprey going back in her card. 28.57 around Clonmel. She can really run, this lady, especially when hitting the lids. 28.62 around Limerick, beating Scarty Yank, who had run so well in the early rounds of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. It stepped her up in trip last time, but she's back down to 5.25 yards. And as I've said, if she hits the lids, she's a big player. And the last we're going to take a look at is in trap 5, Glen Kwan Pat. This fellow unbeaten after 2 starts, a well-bred son of Pat C. Sabbath and Glen Lee, has been really a fantastic brood for Liam Curley, and he of course owns this one jointly with Damien Cunningham. A lot to like about this fellow's card. 28.70 in his card. He's also won a sprint, and last time out 18.89 here at Shelbourne Park in the sprint, so obviously has a bit of early dash. He's one to keep an eye on, lightly raced, and he is having his first start here at Shelbourne Park, but he's clearly won with a bit of a say. The 3 we didn't mention, Droopy Status again, has had plenty of traffic, but he's been well tested in good company, so I'm sure they think plenty of him. 3, Piercestown Kiwi is a dog with blinding early speed. Just don't be surprised if this fellow happened to hit the front. Whether he can stay there or not, well, we'll soon see, but he has a 28.68 calculated around Enniscorthy, as well as a 28.79 calculated here at Shelbourne Park, so he's worthy of respect. And out in trap 6 for Jonathan Roll is Show Business, a middle seed, the only seeded runner in the lineup, and he did 28.82 last time, so lots to like about these 6 runners. We'll go to Robert for his view of this contest. My own personal preference would be trap 1 Boxes. If you're on the inside and you can show a bit of early dash, well, you're halfway home, especially here at Shelbourne Park on a night like tonight when the track is going well. Boxes for me, Robert. What way do you see it?
Yeah, it's an intriguing race in, and I think it's an A1 in everything bar or everything but name, because you look at the likes of Boxes, as you said, we haven't seen the best from him yet, and he's in one tonight. He's never been in one before, so he looks ideally housed. You look at Droopy Status for Owen McKenna, has had plenty of traffic problems, but has an 18.77 sprint here at Shelbourne, so he can clearly run. And then you mentioned Glen Pat in trap 5. He won in 28.70 at Newbridge in his most recent start, clocking a split of 110, which wouldn't be great early, but he's since clocked to 18.89 here for a sprint, so he's clearly a greyhound with plenty of early. And if he can do 28.70 after a moderate break in Newbridge, what will he do tonight if he hits the lid? But this is a really, really good race, and I think in a couple of months' time, quite a few of these are going to be running in open company. But greyhounds are making their way to traps for this 8th race, the Retired Greyhound Trust A1525, and as you can see, the jackets are off and the loading getting underway. Boxes in 1 for Graham Holland, 1 from 5 so far, and as we've been saying, finally has the red jacket, which could be significant for that one's chances. So the loading getting underway. Race 8. We still have 4 more races after this 8th race at Shelbourne. Got a really good open final to come. Cabra Blitz being to be the first ever greyhound to win 4 times on Talking Dogs TV. She's already made history by winning 3 on the bounce, and we finish off with 2 really good open races to finish off the card. But they are loading race 8. If you're getting involved, forecast 3 or whatever on Barking Buzz, last chance to do so, because the last couple are going in. They're all in. And the hair running for our 8th race of the night, the Retired Greyhound Trust A1525, and 1 is Boxes, 2 is Droopy Status, 3 Piercestown Kiwi, 4 Medusa, 5 is Glen Kwan Pat, 6 Show Business. And away they go. It's level enough. 3 is good early. Piercestown Kiwi, 1 up the inside. Boxes, and 6 Show Business down the outside. And Show Business is going to lead them around the opening 2 bends, and he does. And he kicks on by 3 lengths from Piercestown Kiwi, who's in second, and a gap to Medusa. And he can forget about the rest. But at the moment, Show Business is showing them the way, because he's got a 6 length, make that 7 length advantage off the final 2 bends. And he's going to absolutely rout them. Show Business for Jonathan Rolfe, a really good winner of our 8th race. In second was Medusa. Piercestown Kiwi might have hung on for 3rd, but Show Business was in a different league and in a time of 28.57.
Yes, this was a case of Show Business came away racing, just crowding up the inside. Boxes moved to the middle. He caused his own traffic problems, came away reasonably well. I knew edge off slightly, but he really did move to the middle of the track. And meanwhile, Trap 6 Show Business has skipped clear. Trap 3 Piercestown Kiwi did show his early dash to turn in second spot, but there was really nothing that could live with Show Business on this occasion. And well done to Jonathan Rawl, this son of Law Hill Blake, claiming an 8th career success from 29 starts. Nothing wrong with his strike rate, drifting off that final turn, but it was very facile in the finish. He wins, well, as he likes. 4 in second spot, Medusa staying on strongly. But again, we're going to take a look at this one, and it's all about that start from Trap 6 Show Business. He was the one that had an absolutely clean passage and made the very, very most of it. Let's watch that replay one more time. Show Business racing from Trap 6 came away reasonably well. Piercestown Kiwi also going up strongly the inside, but in fairness to Show Business, showed the superior early dash, skips around Trap 3 Piercestown Kiwi and just goes about winning. He's gone on by 4 or 5 lengths, passing halfway, increases his lead to the third bend, and increases his lead all the way to the finish. So a tremendous performance by Trap 6 Show Business. In second spot, Piercestown Kiwi not getting home. He needs to lead. That's his game. 4 coming through for second spot Medusa. 1 and 2. You can rule them out from tonight's contest. They'll improve for that. Boxes, of course. Just keep an eye on him. He'll want to be in the middle next time out. But that's it for this moment in time from Shelbourne Park. We'll be now focusing our attention on Limerick, because the next race is the Sean O'Connor Cup. It's the first heat, and it features Romeo Magico. He was one of the stars of last week's action here on Talking Dogs TV. Brilliant in victory in 28-18, and I'm sure Barry has his thoughts on this very exciting greyhound. He faces a very tricky draw tonight, Barry.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. We're about 5.5 minutes off the off time here, and we have a reserve in Trap 5. It's P for poor old Joe, not with us tonight. Live betting show, Romeo Magico, even money favourites. After that, you have 6 to 1 each of 2. Traps 1 Navy Blue and Trap 2 Jacob Tashadelic. 8 to 1 the reserve Barney's Road. 12 to 1 Trap 3 Adam and Best, and 14 to 1 Those Days Are Gone. We'll just join Mal for the parade.
Pre-qualifying for the final. Dogs parading Limerick.
So, Romeo Magico, sensational last week, and if he hits the lids early, he simply won't be caught doing a 28-18 again. But all 3 of the inside boxes, they can break well, and there are potential problems there for him on the inside. The race could be run to suit. I thought it was going to suit the Matthews pair, but obviously one out of the race, he leaves him with just a 1 runner. Those Days Are Gone. Those Days Are Gone. He's a 131 sectional here, and he went up quite well behind Slip Along Sally a couple of weeks back. He's not devoid of early pace, so he could be worth a look. But in time now to join Mal.
Of the Sean O'Connor Cup. For the 13 and Me Syndicate of Golden, County Tipperary, and trained by Graham Holland, Navy Blue. Next up, a winner last time out in 28.59 for local trainer Neelis O'Connell, and owned by Tom Lynch, Jacob Tashadelic. That leads us on to Any Sport Will Do, Adamant Best for trainer John Rainsford. Trap 4, the likely favourite here, 28-18, last time out. Graham Holland trains Romeo Magico. Trap 5, Barney's Road, the reserve, which comes in for trainer Pat Buckley. And finally, for Brendan Matthews of Newry, Those Days. That completes the lineup in our 6th race, the opening semi-final of the Sean O'Connor Cup, which remembers one of the great supporters of greyhound racing in Limerick, the late Sean O'Connor of the Cloghone GA Club, who in his time refereed the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Finals of 1969 and 75.
Yes, indeed, it's time we take a look at our 3 to follow, and it's only 2 to follow because our Trap 5 runners and non-runner here are appreciated. First, we're going to take a look at his Navy Blue for Graham Holland. We're actually taking a look at 2 Graham Holland trained runners. This fellow, son of Superior Product and Global Liberty, at 28.46 in his card at Shelburne Park. He's an accident waiting to happen. I just put this fellow in because he's so well housed. Trap 2 Jacob Tashadelic drifted right off the corner last time out, or in the opening round, should I say, of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial from Trap 2. If he does something similar, Navy Blue will have a lovely pitch on the fence. He's a strong running type. He's representing the 13 and Me Syndicate. Next, we're going to take a look at is for Romeo Magico, and what an impression this fellow has made in his very short career. He's won 2 of his 5 starts, most notably last time out, winning in 28-18. He reminds me of, a couple of stars of Graham Holland's in the past, the likes of Clare's Rocket, who, really was a sensational tracker, a dog with unbelievable pace and power. This fellow, even at this early stage in his career, and a bit like his sire, Magical Bale, good early speed, a real fluid mover down the back straight. He's going to take some stopping if he hits the lids. We'll go to Barry, because this is a race worth looking ahead to.
Yeah, just had a quick look at the bet, and still even money. Romeo Magico in trap 4, Ian. He's been very consistent sectional wise, 130, 133 and 135, but as I mentioned earlier on, all 3 of the inside runners can fly to the corner, and I think Romeo Magico's strength is just the final 50 yards into the bend. He seems to really get into his stride, and that's where he can take off, but he will need to come away racing, because as I say, the 3 inside runners all have a fair bit of early pace. The reserve Barney's Road, no luck in his career today. He did qualify quite well, 28.45 around here on a 28.50. He was only beaten 3.5 lengths last week when finding all sorts of trouble. But at 14 or 16 to 1, I'd be mixing up the 6 dog. Those days are gone for trios and forecasts. He has a bit more early pace than it seems, and he does stay on strongly. The draw could suit him, although dogs aren't really breaking great from 6 tonight. But at a big price, I'll go for those days are gone to be in the mix. Over to you, Mal, for the commentary.
In traps, 1 Navy Blue, 2 Jacob Tashadelic, 3 Element Best, 4 Romeo Magico. Barney's Road is 5, 6. Those days are gone. Away from traps and a very level break early on. Trap 5, Barney's Road is ground to make up. Up front, Romeo Magico going prominent, so 2 is Jacob Tashadelic. Up front, it's 2, 4, 1, 5 and 3. Trap 2, Jacob Tashadelic is in front. Plenty of contenders for the qualification spots. 4 of them in contention, 2 from 4. Romeo Magico is the favourite, has ground to make up here on Jacob Tashadelic, who swings for home. 2, 5, very tight for 1, and possibly Romeo Magico might not well make it. The time here is 28.69 for Jacob Tashadelic. Neelis O'Connell trained.
Yeah, a lot happening in this contest. We did note that Jacob Tashadelic had run off the corner in the opening round of the Kirby Memorial, and again he's in a perfect pitch on the inside, but he runs off, gives Romeo Magico a bell to belt, and then off the second bend he's drifting wide. Romeo Magico has nowhere to go. He's forced to check his stride, and that sets in motion a few other things that didn't go his way. He tries to challenge again into the third bend. At this stage, Navy Blue is forced to check between runners. 5 up the inside now. Barney's Road, the likely race tracker, forcing his way through into second spot, and all of a sudden Romeo Magico doesn't qualify. But a fine display by Jacob Tashadelic. We'll focus on him in the second replay for Neelis O'Connell and Tom Lynch. They say early speed wins races. Well, it certainly does with Jacob Tashadelic, of course. He did star in the Juvenile Classic in 1 or 2 of the early rounds. His great early speed, and at this occasion he really needed it, because Romeo Magico, I have no doubt, even after watching this contest, that he is a star in the making. He faded out of it in the last few yards, but he's after encountering so much traffic problems that, you can certainly forgive him. 5, Barney's Road is another dog with a bright future. He's improving all the time. He's only had those 2 or 3 starts. He's going to get better and better. He's charging through up the inside, but Jacob Tashadelic, once repelling the challenge of Romeo Magico, never really looked like getting picked up, and in fairness to him, he looks a stronger greyhound than he did during the Juvenile Classic races. Right to the line, wins well. Navy Blue staying on well. I know 1 or 2 very influential men have a share in Navy Blue, and they'll be delighted to be in the next round of the Sean O'Connor Cup. We have one more replay to show you. Again, so much going on. 5 completely missed the kick Barney's Road. Big run from him, but watch Jacob Tashadelic forcing his way through on that opening corner. Again, just drifting off a true line. He's probably not a dead inside runner. He wants to be in the middle of the track, and that's worth well noting in the next few weeks. Romeo Magico trying to come back at him into that third bend, but gets held up again, and then another bump. He's after encountering probably 10, 12 bumps in that race alone, and it's understandable then that he finds very little home, because he's after encountering so much bother, trying to recover so many different times. But no, a fine display by Jacob Tashadelic. That's 2 wins from 6 starts. Don't forget, we still have the Con Annie Kirby Memorial Semi-Finals coming up from Limerick. We also have the remaining action in the Sean O'Connor Cup to look forward to. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, we'll take a look at our next race, and it is a talented sort of field. in this 9th race on your car, the Talking Dogs Online TV A1525. And one or two of these have been great performers here at Shelbourne Park, most notably named Tabanubas, a dog who has 2840 basically tattooed in his forehead. That's the sort of run he's been doing for such a long time. He's a veteran at this stage. He's well over 4 years of age. In fact, he's over nearly 4.5 years of age for Jeff Bateman. This fellow 20 times the score. It'd be great to see him winning again. Zabi, a bitch with great early speed. Trap 3 is actually a non-run Apothecary, just to let you know that. Let's go to Rob for the parade.
Yeah, thanks Ian. And the Greyhounds are coming on parade for our 9th race, the Talking Dogs Online TV A1525. And the first on parade is Lord Boomerang for Tommy Woods in Enniscorthy, a 4-time winner from 25 starts, and the son of Pinpoint Maxi and Razzle Dazzle Beth. 2 is the lovable veteran named Tabanubas for Jeff Bateman, trained by Jeff himself. He's had 73 races, this 4.5-year-old. He's won 20 of them, and if he can reproduce his best form, well, they'll take some going to catch him. 3 is a non-runner, so 4 is a Zabi for Tommy O'Donovan. This a 9-time winner from 32 starts. She's the only female now in the lineup. She's a daughter of Azza, and she's clocked times of 28:49 here at Shelburne in the past. 5 is Railed Robbock for Micheál Murrahurtig and Angus Murrahurtig, trained by Neelius O'Connell, a 7-time winner from 34 starts. This son of Razzle Dazzle Billy and Razzle Dazzle Marilyn has been doing his recent racing in Tralee. And in 60, sole wide seat is Glen Lara Mac for Liam Kirby and Offaly, a 6-time winner from 20 starts, and this son of Ballymac Vic. If he can reproduce his run back in September, he'll take plenty of beating, and if he can reproduce that sectional, he could be the leader early on. So that's it, race 9. Remember, trap 3 is an absentee, and it won't be too much longer until the Greyhounds are being called to traps.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's our chance to take a look at our 3 to follow. And the first we're going to take a look at is Trap 2, Name Tab Anubis. Robert, you're clearly not up on your Egyptian and Greek gods. Anubis was half man, half dog, and he is the god of embalming of such things. And perhaps he might leave his rivals cold tonight, because he has been a star for Jeff Bateman. This fellow can really race into the opening turn. Perhaps not quite the force he has been in the past, but he can still go up fast in the traffic problems last time out. But if he did happen to hit the lids, well, he could take some stopping. Certainly well capable of still doing a 28:40 or 50 run, and that would be more than enough in this contest, I'd imagine. Trap 3 is a non-runner, so Azabi is a good draw in 4. We've seen a few of Tommy O'Donovan's running so well tonight. Unfortunately, in defeat, Pirno and Miss Minnie Magic, as she was the finished second in the sprint. But anyway, Tommy will be hoping that Azabi can get to the front. She's not the stoutest of stairs, but she's blistering early speed. She will edge inwards, have no doubt about that. That should give the outside runners, the likes of Railed Rabbock in Trap 5 for Micheál Murrahurtig, a chance to get racing. But the one we're going to focus our attention on is Glen Lara Mac, a dog with plenty of early speed. We mentioned Glen Lee a little bit earlier in the card. That's the dam of this son of Ballymac Vic. He's great early speed, a little inconsistent at boxes, but he's got a great draw, and if he does trap on terms, he will get the room of Shelbourne Park at the outside, and that is worth keeping in mind. They are going to traps for this 9th race. Robert, Name Tab Anubis, will he leave his rivals cold?
Yeah, I'll take your word for the pronunciation, Lee. Ian, you're confusing me already. Yeah, I thought the 6 dog, Glen Lara Mac, the draw looks as though it's ideal for him. And obviously, we haven't seen him since he was contesting the Easter Cup against Knockaboola Sid. So it's obviously a step down in grade for him. And he's got good sprint runs as well. So if he can trap level at the very least, I think he might take a little bit of beating. And as you said, with trap 3 and absentee, we just have the 5 going to traps. And just looking on the Barking Buzz app, trap 4 marginal favourite over 6, so 4 and 6 reversed will be the most popular forecast combo by the looks of it. So it looks as though we're all in, nearly all in for our 9th race, the Talking Dogs Online TV A1525. And they are running for our 9th race. And 1 Lord Boomerang, 2 is Name Tab Anubis, 3 is an absentee, 4 is Azabi, 5 is Rail Rabbock, and 6 the sole wide seed Glen Lara Mac. And away they go. It's level enough. Glen Lara Mac's well away on the outside, and he's probably going to lead with the outside to help. So he's going to skip around in front. He leads by about 3 lengths from Azabi. Then Name Tab Anubis back in 3rd, and Rail Rabbock starting to motor from now. But he's and the rest have a long way to go to catch this Glen Lara Mac, because he's still got a significant advantage around the top 2 bends. 5 lengths clear over Azabi and 5 Rail Rabbock, but off the final bend. And once he led, he was never going to get caught. And Glen Lara Mac back to winning ways from Rail Rael Robick, who's run a blinder in second. He's got up ahead of Zabi in third. But Glen Raramac has made most in a really good 28.47.
Yeah, well, we did state before the race that this fellow had an absolutely ideal draw. And if he did trap on terms, so he was going to take some stopping, that's exactly what he did. He trapped on terms and he shows great early speed. He has plenty of early dash, clears them into the corner with a fair bit to spare. At this point, there was no chance of him getting picked up. For Azabi is a short runner, so too named Tabanubis. Just keep an eye on Rael Rabach for the legendary Micheál Murrah-Hertig and his son Angus. Trainer Neelis O'Connell, he'll be winning again very shortly, perhaps over further. A very strong running greyhound. He's in October 17 at this stage, but still has another full season ahead of him, and no doubt certainly has plenty of ability still, and he runs on very strongly for second spot. But there was no catching Liam Curley's Glen Lara Mac, a dog with plenty of talent, plenty of pace, and as you can see, he had the perfect draw on the outside. He shot to the front and remained there. Let's take a look at the replay one more time. A joy to watch if you're on the stripes here. Glen Lara Mac, again, showing great early speed. Like, these aren't slouches. He's basically destroying into that opening turn. He's gone on by 3 or 4 lengths off the second bend. For Azabi, runs her own gutsy little race in second spot. She's after taking a hefty bump on the corner, and as I said, she is a short runner, so she was never going to pick up trap 6 of Glen Lara Mac, who's running a true line throughout and maintaining a strong stride all the way to the finish. 5 Rael Rabach, again, an eye catcher in second spot. And now we can start turning our attention once again to the action from Limerick, because the next race down there is the next heat of the Sean O'Connor, and we saw a fine winner in that opening heat in the form of Jacob Tashidlek, showing good early speed up the inside from trap 2. One wonders, will this be one from the front also? We'll go back to Barry, just get his thoughts in before they go on parade.
Yeah, thanks Ian. Romeo Majiko definitely a little unlucky there in the last race, just failed to make the bend and showed pace on numerous occasions down the back straight, just failed to qualify, so he's a big future ahead of him, more days ahead for him hopefully. We have a reserve here in trap 4. Ballyhimmick Pit is out, possibly sold, as he was up for sale. Low Huron reserve Q for Queen comes in for Noel O'Leary in Tralee, takes his place in trap 4. Likely favourite here, Droopy's Fittest. Although he may have looked a little unlucky last week, it's worth having another look at that race. I know he completely missed the break, but after that he wasn't really touched. He might have lost a length at the third bend. I know the time was good, 28.61, and Jacob Tashidelic has franked the form by winning the first heat, but he's going to go off around the 4 to 7 shot, and at that sort of price wouldn't be from me. We're going to have, looks like trap 1 Deadly Tornado is going to set the pace. Stamina not his strong suit for Gary Hannon and Carl Ramsbottom, but he may just edge off slightly on the run to the bend and could hamper Tyrone Luke and Droopy's Fittest. Of the rest, all for the best in trap 6. Strong running type, already has 7 wins and he's not yet out puppy status. He's a big run in Shelbourne Park on the 19th of March when clocking 31.20 for 5.75 over there, and any trouble inside will aid his cause. Bling Bling Paul, he met trouble early last week, but he ran on really well to qualify. He may move inwards, but he's a good chance of qualifying. As I say, he does finish well. Lower Ron, a couple of decent runs earlier on in his career, 28.52 and 28.60 around Tralee. No luck whatsoever so far on the Kirby, but back in as a reserve, and he could take his chance tonight. Then we go to Tyrap Luke, he managed to get to the front after a tardy start last week, and he led until close home, just caught by trap 6. Needs to trap a little bit better, but he's a brave sort and he can go up well. So currently now Droopy Phyllis is just gone 4 to 6, still your favourite, and we're going to pass over to Bal now for the parade.
Second of the semi-finals in the Sean O'Connor Cup at Limerick, trained by Carl Ramsbottom for Gary Hannon of Bray. The first runner, Deadly Tornado. In the blue jacket, locally owned and trained in Brewery, County Limerick by David Carroll, Tyrap Luke. Next up, we have a Kirby winner from early on in 28.35, our favourite, Droopy's Fittest for Robert Gleeson. Trap 4 is the reserve, which is Lower Run, and that's for Noel O'Leary. Bling Bling Pole runs for owner-trainer John Meehan of Newmarket-on-Fergus. And trap 6, a winner in 28.82 last time out. It's All for the Best and the HDJ Syndicate of Bree.
Yeah, thanks to Mal for that parade there. The next race, of course, the Sean O'Connor Cup semi-final, second semi-final. And the first we're going to lead with is the one they all have to beat. Droopy's Fittest, the dog with immense pace and power. 28.61 in defeat last week, overcame a bad start. He can go up much faster. He will need to go up much faster because he will most certainly edge towards the rails in the early yards. If he does get to the rails unscathed, well, he's most likely to come out in front for Robert Gleeson and Killian Cronin and Kevin Barry. And out in sixth, the second we're going to take a look at is All for the Best, a real strong running greyhound, a son of Vulturi and Agasanta, so certainly bred to be fast, and he certainly is that. He's a 31.20 here at Shelbourne Park for the 575 yard trip. Ran on well to win by 2 lengths last time out. It was clear from a long way out that he was going to win because he was so close to the pace. He's not always guaranteed to turn this close, but if he does tonight, he too could play a big part in proceedings. An intriguing contest, but it all depends on what Trap 3 Droopy's Fittest does at boxes. I'm sure that's the way you see it, Barry?
Yeah, Ian, quite right. Without a doubt, if Droopy's Fittest does hit it and get to the rails, there's going to be no stopping him. He is a strong sort out in front, but it's not all that simple. 4-7 the last time I looked. Not really for me. When you have the likes of Deadly Tornado inside, he does have explosive early pace. Tyrap Luke shouldn't really be in the mix early, but he could get a nice toe into the race behind the front two around the first bend. Bling Bling Paul, as I say, I watched him last week closely. He did run on very well to qualify. He's not without a chance. And All for the Best was a good winner last week. Trouble inside did aid his cause, but he does run on strongly. He's a good win over 5.75 in Shelbourne Park. But it'd be interesting to see how Droopy's Fittest goes on here. 4-7, just not for me. Let's join Mal for the commentary.
From the inside, Deadly Tornado, Tyrap Luke, Droopy's Fittest, Slower Run, Bling Bling Paul. Three qualifying from this semi-final, 1, 5 and 6 are smartest away. Deadly Tornado leads early on from Bling Bling Paul. Droopy's Fittest is down the field, the favourite. Up front, Deadly Tornado leads from Bling Bling Paul. 6 All for the Best. 2 bends from the finish in the second of the Sean O'Connor semi-finals. It's 1, 5 and 6. 1 Deadly Tornado leading by a couple of lengths from Bling Bling Paul. We're off the final bend. 1, 5 and 6 going towards the line. It's tight. All for the Best was finishing strongly. Those have qualified anyhow. 28.56 and another surprise in the Sean O'Connor Cup. Both favourites now beaten. 28.56 the clock again.
Yeah, that's desperately tight in the finish. But we're just going to focus on Trap 3 here for the moment. Droopy's Fittest. He missed the kick and edging straight across. Unless he gets his trapping sorted, he won't be winning races enough to challenge for major competitions, and missed the kick on this occasion and was always down the field. Meanwhile, Trap 1, Deadly Tornado. Well, we know he has a good turn of early speed. He led clear in his second last outing in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. But again, he is being tackled by 2 real strong runners, Bling Bling Paul and, of course, All for the Best on the outside. I think All for the Best may have just got there. I think maybe that my Shelbourne bias. If you're finishing fast and you're on the outside of Shelbourne Park, you will win at 99 times out of 100. We are still waiting on the official result. But for me, All for the Best may have just got there in the closing yards to deny Bling Bling Paul. Let's focus on the front 3 though. It is 1 up the inside, Deadly Tornado. On the outside of him, 5 Bling Bling Paul, who then edges to the rail off that opening corner. Now 6 is in third spot, All for the Best. Not always guaranteed to turn as close, and I thought he would be thereabouts at the finish from this point, but when 5 Bling Bling Paul started making his move on Trap 1 Deadly Tornado, I thought he might just get there. But as you see, All for the Best really is a powerhouse. He flies up that home straight. It's a desperately tight finish. Not the first time we've said that tonight. On reflection, that might be a bit tight to call, but I generally would give it to the fast finishing dog on the outside, All for the Best. We said it last week. Trendonbury, where my late father was from, so have a bit of an attachment to him. Bling Bling Paul, a son of Shavatar and Killian and Reina. We already saw one of that litter flying home here tonight at Shelburne Park, and 1 or 2 of his comrades also pack a real punch in the closing yards, and this fellow, I've no doubt, will go on to bigger and better things. That's his 4th. Beg your pardon, we're still waiting on the result. That's his 14th career success. We'll go to Barry. Barry might have the result for us down at
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, of course. Half a length. 6 wins. Gets up to beat 5 and 1. Yeah, it's just been confirmed. Droopy's fitness, as you say, really does need to brush up his trapping boots. But Deadly Tornado again showed good early pace to lead. He's a good chance in the final with that early pace. Draw's not really going to be relevant to him. He's a smashing early pace dog. But full result there is 6 beats 5 and 1 in 28.56, Ian.
Did you say a half a length, Barry? It couldn't be a half a length. Surely my eyesight hasn't gone that bad. Could it be half a length?
Well, it actually was a neck. I was bluffing saying a half a length because I'd no doubt, but it actually was officially a neck, so I'm disappointed in you.
Man, Barry, you got me there, in fairness to you. And listen, keep up the bluffing. That's what we like to see. A bit of bluffing online. There's nothing like it. Moving on, here at Shelbourne Park, the next race on our card is the final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525. Just confirmation once again. All for the best, winning from trap 6 from 5 Bling Bling Paul. Back in third was Deadly Tornado. The 10th race here at Shelbourne Park, the final of the GRI Open 525, and a cracking little contest to look forward to. And a bit of a star here on Talking Dogs TV. Cabra Blitz is the only one of all the nights that has won. And this is her 4th run in 4 weeks. Can she add the final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525 to her catalogue of recent successes? Well, we'll soon find out. I know one man that is a massive star of Cabra Blitz is standing behind the microphone. In fact, sitting behind the microphone down in my commentary box here at Shelbourne Park. Robert, I'm back in that box next week. Don't forget. But Cabra Blitz racing from Trap 2 here. I know she's one of your favourites.
Yeah, it's hard not to be taken with her what she's done the last 3 weeks, Ian. She's already made history by winning 3 on the bounce on Talking Dogs TV, so you never know. Let's hope she can make it 4. But they are parading for a 10th race, the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525 final. And the first Greyhound just about to come on parade for this intriguing final. And that first Greyhound is Awesome Blue for Tom Bride in Kildare, trained by Jack Bride, a 6-time winner from 24 starts, has followed home Cabra Blitz the last couple of weeks, so has that form to reverse Trap 1 Awesome Blue. 2 is Cabra Blitz for Paddy Scally in Tipperary. She's an 8-time winner from 26 starts. She's the only Greyhound to have won on every night of Talking Dogs TV. She starts and stays, and she most definitely is the one to beat. 3 Highview wins for Patsy and Jerry Merriman in Cron, County Offaly, a 5-time winner from 15 starts. A regular here at Shelbourne, and generally does his best work from halfway, so watch him from the second bend onwards. 4 is Knock Mitten Boo for Orla Kelly in Kildare, the second of the females in tonight's final, trained by Orla herself, a 2-time winner from 8 starts. There's 3 lengths to make up on Cabra Blitz from last week. Can she make it up? We'll soon find out. 5 is Douala Prince for Yvonne McLaughlin and Hilary McLaughlin, trained by Tommy O'Donovan, who's had an eventful night so far. And this son of Droopy's Jet is a 5-time winner from 22 starts. And in 6, the 6th of the inside seeds, Kishlawn Amelia for Gavin and Orla Nolan in Kilkenny. 4-time winner from 18 starts, the 3rd female in the lineup, and the 2nd of the semi-final winners when just getting the better of Douala Prince here in 28.87 last week. So an intriguing final. All 6 have genuine chances, and if you're getting involved, you have about a couple of minutes or so to do so.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Rob. We are looking forward to this final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525. The first we're going to take a look at is the lady that has taken up much of the airwaves over the last minute or two, Cabra Blitz. This daughter of Patsy Sabbath, Cabra Fifi, as Robert said, has won every night here on Talking Dogs TV, owned by Paddy Scally. She's in flying form. A fantastic victory here on March 27th to start her run in 28.60. Track not on the quick side on that occasion. That was a fine run, and she's backed it up in the 2 weeks since. Next, we're going to take a look at his Highview wins. A dog with loads of pace. If he does sort out his boxing, his trapping, he has the pace to challenge in this contest and indeed go on to better things in the future. I have no doubt about that. A dog with loads of pace. If he does happen to turn close, just keep an eye on him. He is a big player. And Trap 6, Kishlawn Amelia. There's so much to like about her victory last week. She won by a short head from Douala Prince, but she doesn't know defeat, this lady. She just keeps on digging, keep on finding, and she did something similar here the previous week on April 3rd. She also has 2 wins on Talking Dogs TV, so you'll be more than familiar with her. The 3 we didn't mention, Awesome Blue racing from 1, 6 times a score, probably has a little bit to find and will need to be at its sharpest early. 4 is Knock Bitten Boo. She can really race to a corner if she did happen to clear the bend, and any bit of traffic in behind, well, she could take some stopping. She's very capable of doing a 28.60 on the night, and that could be enough tonight. And 5 Duala Prince, he's a dog that would prefer a rails pitch, but we saw last week he has loads of pace, loads of talent. Just the draw is a major concern for him. Rob, they're in traps now for this final of the Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525.
Yeah, they sure are, Ian, and there's plenty of early pace here because Cabral Blitz, she'll need to be on her mark early on with Awesome Blue inside her, and as you said, the likes of Duala Prince and Kishlon Amelia towards the outside. But they're all in for a 10th race. The Greyhound Racing Ireland Open 525. In 1 is Awesome Blue, 2 is Cabra Blitz, 3 is Highview Wins. In 4, Knock Mitten Boo, 5 is Duala Prince, and in 6 is Kishlon Amelia. And away they go, and 6 is well away. Kishlon Amelia on the outside. Cabra Blitz is getting into gear. 5 cuts her off. Duala Prince, and it's 6 who leads 5 around the opening 2 bend. So Kishlon Amelia leads. Duala Prince back in third now as Amelia is Awesome Blue, and Cabra Blitz has a lot of work to do. Into the third bend, and 6 Kishlon Amelia still leads from Duala Prince. Then we've got Awesome Blue and Cabra Blitz, but at the moment it's all about the outside. Kishlon Amelia is trying to make most, and it looks as though she's going to do so. Kishlon Amelia beats Duala Prince. Cabra Blitz never got going, but she's finished third in the end. But Kishlon Amelia was out and gone. She's done it from the front, and she's done it in 28.57.
Yeah, tremendous performance there by Kishlon Amelia. They often say in a race of 6 inside seeds, well, favour the one on the widest outside. And Kishlon Amelia, she didn't really run like an inside seed. OK, she stays in once she gets to the fence, but she didn't dive in the early yards. And that was the key to success. Duala Prince, in contrast, does edge in across the whole way. And he gives 6 plenty of room to race. He charges into the third bend. He did so last week. He got up to the inside of Kishlon Amelia, and they had a real set to up the home straight. On this occasion, he couldn't get to her by the third bend. And once he didn't, all this lady does is keep on going to the line. There is so much to like about her. Well done to Gavin Nolan and Orla Nolan. This daughter of Kinloch Bray really is a really plucky type. That was her 5th win from 19 starts. It just wonders what she did in the other 14 starts, because the way she races, she's one that's very, very hard to keep out of the frame. Hits the lids tonight, as you see, going up strongly and straight and through up to about the last 5 yards into the corner where she starts to edge across, but she has the room and the time to do so. Duala Prince, in fairness to him, just took him a second to get his legs together, but he flies down into the third bend. But Kishlon Amelia, once she got the third bend, that was it. She stays right to the line. In behind them, 2 Cabra Blitz runs another gallant race. That's her first defeat on Talking Dogs TV. I'm sure she'll be winning again on this platform very shortly. But Trap 6, Kishlon Amelia, a good winner for Gavin and Orla Nolan. Congratulations to them, this daughter of Kinloch Bray. So much to like about her. Now, folks, no time to waste here at Shelbourne Park. We're going to move on to Limerick, because we're getting into the serious stuff. The opening semi-final of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial is fast upcoming, and what a race we have to look forward to. Although a hot favourite in Trap 1, Explosive Boy, it's hard enough to pick amongst the remainder what will emerge as perhaps the nearest challenger. That's if Explosive Boy wins. I don't want to put the mockers on him. Barry, Explosive Boy to win, but what do you think will be second and third?
Yeah, just they're about to go on parade, Ian, but just quickly, I can't believe Agent Stanley, just check the prices there. Agent Stanley is available at 7 to 1. He's next best in after Explosive Boy, who's currently an 8 to 13 shot. Let Mal go through the parade, and I'll pick it up after you do your 3 eye catchers. Parade with Mal.
The semi-finalist is a son of good news and delightful girl. Trained by Pat Gilfoyle, number 1, Explosive Boy, our favourite. Flies the flag for the Skeeton Club. Next up, flying the flag for St Patrick's, home of Garrod Hegarty, Benamaldino Roxy and Kevin Lochnan. Number 3, a son of Droopy's Roddick and Emer's Poopy, Graham Holland from the Riverside Kennels, Mallox Marley. Trap 4, trained by Marie Gilbert of Skerries, Skeeton Ballysteen Ladies Football represented with Agent Stanley, twice a winner. Now we have 3-time Derby-winning trainer Pat Buckley and Bombardier for the Ahan Club, home of the Hurling brothers Tom and Dan Morrissey. And 6, fresh from his win with Ballymac at Shelbourne Park. This is Ballymac Merlin for the Dowling family and representing the St. Senans Club. Those are the runners that will shortly be going to traps for the first of the semi-finals to the Con Annie Kirby Memorial 525 of 2021.
Yeah, indeed. What a race to look forward to. These 6 greyhounds just bidding for, if you offer them third spot, they'd take it now, including Trap 1 Explosive Boy, who is a hot favourite, I'm sure. Well trained by Pat Guilfoyle. This son of good news, a delightful girl, is owned by Peter Sutcliffe in South Australia, although he is set to come back to Dublin very shortly. I've been told he was due this month, but perhaps the COVID situation has held him back. But this Explosive Boy, a dog with amazing pace, he can really flash to the opening corner. He's perfectly housed in the fence, and if he does hit the lids, well, he's going to take some stopping because he'll be in front. The second we're going to take a look at is Bella Medina Roxy. What a star this lady could potentially be. Her owner, Stephen Pennell, and agent Kevin Loughnane, they have a real talent on their hands. His daughter, Dorota's Woohoo, who himself was a bit of a star in his racing days in the UK. I think he might have won a Scottish Derby. He's 1 win from 6 starts, this lady, Bella Medina Roxy. She does have a good draw, especially if she comes away on level terms. Even at her age, October 19, it's just very clear that she's a real bright prospect. And the last we're going to take a look at in real detail is Agent Stanley. Barry mentioned him. He's a big enough price, but he's fantastic early speed. He's running so well for Mary Gilbert, for Pat Flanagan, Nerwin Burkmeyer. I really hope he hits the lids and runs his race. If he does, he could easily be in the final. The 3 we didn't mention, Mallogs Marley, a dog that's really coming back to himself. He's paced from start to finish. Had no answer to Agent Stanley last week, but if he hits the lids, you never know. Bombardiers out there, Bombardiers in Trap 5. He'll need a flying start. He'll finish well on 6 Ballymacmurlin. I don't know where he's going to do his racing. He generally does his best work from 2 to 3. He's going to need to be sharper tonight, but by all accounts, it's been Liam Dowling's night thus far, so we'll soon see. Barry, your quick thoughts on this opening semi-final?
Yeah, thanks Ian. The 8 to 15 about Explosive Boy is gone. He's now 2s on. Still 7 to 1 Agent Stanley. And it's 12 to 1 bar these two really. Look, Explosive Boy has been one of the stars, if not the star of the competition so far, but I'm sure Pat Guilfoyle thinks it's not ideal to be going from 1 to 6 back to 1 again. You know, it might just upset him a little bit, but look, he looks a real professional, and with any way of a sort of a level start, you do expect him to lead up. Interesting to see what Agent Stanley does. He could cause problems. He can absolutely fly the laser, we've seen here last week, and of course in his few races around Shelbourne Park. A couple of the others have the chance to actually offset their poor draws with a flying start, so it's a fascinating contest. Explosive Boy 2 to 1 on favourite. Hopefully Agent Stanley qualifies for Des and Marley. It's over to Mal for the commentary.
Green flag raised in traps. Explosive Boy, Bella Medina Roxy, Mallogs Marley, Agent Stanley, Bombardier, Ballymacmurlin. The strong favourite is in 1. Breaks smartly does Explosive Boy, as does Agent Stanley as they go towards the opening turn. It's 1 followed by 4. In 3rd is Trap 6, Ballymacmurlin. At the front of the field, Explosive Boy going along nicely from Agent Stanley. In 3rd, Ballymacmurlin. 3 to qualify for the Kirby Final of 2021. Explosive Boy living up to its tag of favourite and coming off the final bend is going to win here. It's 1, 4 and 6 as qualifiers. Explosive Boy, Agent Stanley and Ballymacmurlin. The time is a very quick 28:08. And the winning
Yeah, Explosive Boy, he really is a force of nature. This fellow, 28:08 in the opening round, 28:08 in the semi-finals, and again, blitzing from the inside box, making every inch of the running. 4 Agent Stanley, flash and traps also. He runs a massive race too. He's being a photo finish for 2nd spot. Ballymacmurlin on the outside. Well, as we said earlier on, if you're an inside seed, perhaps the best place to be in a race of 6 inside seeds is on the outside. He made the most of that. He looked a bit under pressure into the 3rd bin, Ballymacmurlin, but certainly can't be said about Explosive Boy, who absolutely exploded from traps, makes every inch of the running. 28:08. By all accounts, if he gets a draw next week, he'll be very, very hard to beat, and I'm sure he'll be starting favourite. Bombardier running on very strongly, but he just failed out in 4th spot. 2nd was Agent Stanley, 6 Ballymacmurlin in 3rd. So we know our first 3 qualifiers in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Once again, Explosive Boy, absolutely electric from Trap 1. Bella Medina Roxy completely missed the kick, this youngster. She'll have bright nights in future, I can promise you that, but just wasn't meant to be for her, nor was it meant to be for Mallogs Marley. Trap 5, Bombardier is perhaps slightly unlucky, got hampered into the opening turn. He was finishing like a train, but just couldn't get there quick enough, and instead it was Trap 1 Explosive Boy that made every inch. Agent Stanley running a fine race for Des and Mary Gilbert in 2nd spot. Congratulations to owners Pat Flanagan, Nerwin Burkmeyer, and 6 for Liam Dowling, Ballymacmurlin. Well, we couldn't doubt him after Ballymacwild's superb success here at Shelbourne Park that he was going to get Ballymacmurlin into the final. One wonders, can he do so with Ballymacbelvolt in 15 minutes time in the 2nd semi-final? But again, just take a look at that. Explosive Boy. It's just poetry in motion. Fluent from boxes. Rails like a cat around those opening 2 bends. He is flawless. Not a missed check, not a missed stride. He just floats along the ground. Sensational performance by this brilliant son of good news and delightful girl. He has been brought to a T by Pat Guilfoyle. This fellow has really turned into a serious greyhound, and no matter where he goes in the future, well, he looks like he'll be a major player in every major competition he contests. Fantastic performance again by Explosive Boy. We'll soon find out the remaining 3 runners for the final of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. We're just waiting on a bit of a reaction down at Limerick. Hopefully we'll be able to get Pat Guilfoyle in just a few moments. I'm sure Barry is working on the case as we speak. Barry, while we have you, should I say, I suppose a very taking display by Explosive Boy. He's going to be hard to stop next week no matter the draw.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Like, he's done it now twice from trap 1. He's done it from trap 6. He's a brilliant trapper. Like, if Agent Stanley wasn't in that race, it would have looked to the eye, it would have looked electric, because the 2 of them really flew out. Like, in 28.08, there's nothing going to come from behind in 28.08. He looks a real superstar. That's 8 wins now from 13 and a double for Peter Sutcliffe on the night. So just waiting for Pat to come in off the track. Should be with us any second. Agent Stanley again ran well to qualify. It's nice to see Des and Mary with a one in a big final, and hopefully that goes well for them next week. But yeah, what can you say about Explosive Boy, really? 28.08. Like, I dare say that split is in the 120s again, and he's going to take some stopping in the final, regardless of what happens in the next heat. But yeah, 1 to 2, it looks value now in.
Yes, indeed, 1 to 2 about Explosive Boy in that heat. Well, halfway down the back straight, I've taken 1 to 22. Explosive Boy. Barry will be delighted to hear that while Peter Sutcliffe is down to South Australia, well, he's very much a dub, and he is relocating back to his home county in the near stages. So, it's great to see the Dubs winning something down the country. We don't actually often have to go down the country to win something. We normally just do all our winning in Croke Park. But listen, I won't be crowing about that. Meanwhile, we are waiting for a bit of reaction down at Limerick. As soon as we have it, we'll go back to them. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, the Greyhounds are going through the parade. The next race on your card here at Shelbourne Park, the 11th race, penultimate race on our card. We won't join them for the parade because they are nearly done. Or will we? I think we might. Let's just join Robert for the remainder of the parade.
To Butsy Spangoline, and if he reproduces that 28.40 or 28.37 here a few weeks ago, he's got a big chance in a really good race. As does 3 Broadstrand Ryan for the Ryan Drake Donovan Syndicate, trained by John Lennon, a 3-time winner from 4 starts, scintillating here when winning in 28.24. A hugely exciting son of Ballymac-esque is Broadstrand Ryan. 4 is Chasing Belfast for the Hovex Racing Syndicate in England, trained by Graham Holland, a 5-time winner from 23 starts. No luck in the Select Stakes down in Waterford of late. He's back here to Shelbourne Park where he's won in the past, and he's another for the shortlist. And the last of our Greyhounds, because Trap 6 is an absentee, is 5 Ballymac Fair one for Liam Dowling. Obviously it's been a big night so far for Liam, capturing the Shelburne Open 600 final. And this son of Ballymac, Matt, is an exciting youngster because he was brilliant here when making all in 28.26, and he's since followed up with a recent trial of 28.34. So a really good renewal this 11th race. It'll take plenty of winning, and you can be fairly sure whatever wins is likely to post a very fast time.
Yeah, straight down to Limerick for a reaction. Barry has Pat Guilfoyle, I believe.
Oh, you're grand.
Yeah, I'm joined here by Pat Guilfoyle. Pat, absolutely amazing performance. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, delighted to make the final again, you know. And he's a really good little dog, and he's been, you know, brilliant during the stake, like so. But he needs to do it one more time, though, you know.
Yeah,
and
been slightly concerned about moving from 1 to 6 back to 1 again, but he's a real professional.
Yeah, look, you will be slightly concerned with those little things, especially with a dog like that who's such a fast trapper. Like, it's only a game of inches, and if you miss it at all, as we saw in the second round, you could find yourself wanting. And but look, he's a great little dog, and but like I said, he needs to do it one more time, and it won't be easy. So, but we'll do our best with him, and hopefully it works out.
And just finally, Pat, a quick word on the sire. Good news, you had him yourself. He seems to be throwing some nice types.
Yeah, he's shaking to a right sire. He's very, very busy, and John Kennedy has done a brilliant job establishing him. And and sir, he's a son of good news and a grandson of definite opinion. Both dogs that are trained, and so it's lovely to see. He looks as though he'd make a right sire. Yeah.
You know the family well. Listen, Pat, congratulations on the very best of luck this week.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, well done to Pat Guilfoyle. Mealham here at Shelbourne Park in traps for the 11th. Over to Rob.
Yeah, all set to go for race 11, and 1 is Good Cody, 2 is Butsy Bengal, in 3 is Broadstrand Ryan, 4 is Chasing Belfast, and 5 is Ballymac Fairwood. And away they go, and 4 is well away Chasing Belfast, as is Broadstrand Ryan up the inside, and these two going to dominate into the opening bend. So Chasing Belfast has just opened a 3-4 length advantage off the second bend, and suddenly he's going to take plenty of catching, because Broadstrand Ryan has got a big deficit to close. Then we got Ballymac Fairwood and Butsy's Bengal, but it's still Chasing Belfast that they're all chasing, and he leads by 6 lengths, maybe 5 over Broadstrand Ryan off the final bend. But this is all over, and it's all over courtesy of Chasing Belfast, who makes all for Graham Holland. In second was Broadstrand Ryan. 5 Ballymac Fairwood never really got going, but Chasing Belfast has made it win number 6 in a time of 28.60.
Yeah, fine winner here for Graham Holland. Chasing Belfast, consistent tracker. Normally has been running over a little bit further and been picked up, but on tonight's occasion he showed great early speed to clear into the bend. Trap 3 Broadstrand Ryan showing a bit of his inexperience, checked up a stride and lost an awful lot of ground in a short spell of time. He did run on strongly. There's no question this fellow has a big engine. When the penny drops, he's going to be a serious performer. 5 Ballymac Fairwood really did catch the eye in third spot, but a lot to like about Chasing Belfast. Hit the lids, went to the front and charged clear when the opportunity arose, and he emerges a comfortable winner by 3.5 lengths perhaps. In second spot Broadstrand Ryan. Have no doubt there is better to come from this fellow in the very near future. He's a dog with amazing ability and strength and power and all of the above. He's a greyhound with a bright future. Just watch them though. Butsy's Bengal completely missed a kick. He's all about early speed, whereas he would have been expected to lead up the inside. He completely missed a kick. Charged up into the opening bend, tries to squeeze through on the fence, finds traffic off the second bend. 5 Ballymac Fairwood coming back in the inside now to go third, but out front it's all about 4 Chasing Belfast. He's never going to be picked up. Broadstrand Ryan, who again not the most fluent on the bends just yet, that will come. He flies up the home straight to maintain second spot. 5 though Ballymac Fairwood did catch my eye. That was just his third career start. He is 28.26 and 28.34 on his card, but a cracking race to reflect on, and have no doubt you'll be seeing more of them in the very near future. Meanwhile, we head back down to Limerick for the second semi-final of the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. Hot favourite obliging from Trap 1 last time out, Explosive Boy. Will a hot favourite oblige from Trap 1 here? Sing Along Sally. The non-runner probably not going to suit her, Barry. Am I right?
Yes, yeah, and it's not going to suit my nap of the night either. I'm sweet on Trap 5 here, but I would have liked to see a little the 3 and the 4 maybe held up so I could get a clear run. But it's reflected in the betting in. She was 4-6 on Thursday when we priced up. She's now a 5-4 chance. So that shows the drift. The machine was 5-1 and he's now into 5-2. Obviously the less runners is going to suit him. Ballymac Belbert clipped the half a point, 11-2 into 5s. My selection, Luminous Light, 8-1 out to 10s, and Stone Park Leo has seen a bit of support. He's 14s into 8-1. Look, it's a cracking semi-final. Sing Along Sally, she's been excellent in everything she's done so far. She's a perfect draw on Trap 1, and a slick start should definitely see her lead. It's just a matter of how close the machine and Ballymac Belbert can turn. But as I say, I do like Luminous Light. If you look at his card, he only has the 5 runs. He's gone 29.70, 29.10, 28.90, 28.50, 28.30. He's just consistently improving. So where's the improvement going to stop? Hopefully not tonight. He could get a decent run with the 2 slower starters on his inside in the machine and Ballymac Belbert. And at a big price, 10-1, I think he has a decent chance. So I'm going to pass over to Mal now with the parade for our second semi-final of the Con Annie Kirby 55. Mal.
For trainer Pat Buckley, and she's a daughter of Tulmary Act and Droopy Smasher. It's Sing Along Sally for Khalidi. Unfortunately, Vallegro for the Heffernans is a non-runner. Number 3, The Machine, Brendan Matthews trains for Hospital Herberstown, a son of Droopy's Cane and Precious Story. That leads us on to the Knockaderry flying Liam Dowling's Ballymac Belvolt for the Starboard Out Syndicate. Trap 5, Dennis Lennon and his Lemon Kennels for Mona Lean. Edward Lennon owns Luminous Light, a son of Candle King and Old Time Low. And this is the last of the runners for Castletown Ballygran, trained by Mark O'Donovan. For young Michael Sean O'Dwyer, it's Stone Park Leo.
Yeah, indeed, what a race to look forward to. We're going to start, obviously enough, with Trap 1 Sing-Along Sally. What a star she's been, this daughter of Tullamore Acton, Droopy Smasher already, the Juvenile Classic winner of 2021. We saw the Juvenile Classic winner of 2020 lifting our major prize here tonight at Shelbourne Park, the Shelburne Open 600 in the form of Ballymac Wild. And Sing-Along Sally is also destined for great things. She's perfectly housed in the fence. She starts, she stays, she won't move off the fence, and she is a very worthy favourite. But, as I said earlier on, I think Trap 2 Missing won't actually aid her, because it will give the likes of the Machine and Ballymac Belvolt and Luminous Light a chance to get racing a little bit earlier after her. The Machine, a dog with massive pace, unbelievable engine. Brendan Matthews owns and trains the son of Droopy's Kane, a precious story. He came from out of the clouds last week to be beaten a half length by Explosive Boy. I think it's safe to say that that form has been franked inside the last 15 minutes. An incredibly fast greyhound. It's going to need a bomb to keep this fellow out of the frame. 4, Ballymac, or beg your pardon, 4, we skipped 4, Ballymac Belvolt. And we led with 5, Luminous Light, because, as Barry has already suggested, he's got a great draw. 4 is going to dive straight for the inside. Luminous Light is the dog that is progressing all the time. 28.36 last week. He's strong. He is improving in the early stakes, and if he does come away on traps in terms, he could have a nice clear run into that turn with Trap 4, Ballymac Belvolt diving for the inside. He's certainly a greyhound that will win his first race very soon. He's 5-0 at the moment, but have no doubt he's going the right way, and I'm sure Ed Lemon is really happy with this fellow. Ballymac Belvolt and Stone Park Lee are both capable of playing a big part in proceedings, but we can only mention the 3 of them, so we'll side with Sing-Along Sally to win. The Machine is obviously the main threat for my mind, but I know Barry is fancying Luminous Light. Any last words, Barry?
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Nobody's listening to me at all. I've just checked there. Luminous Light now 14-1 from 10-1, so nobody's taking my advice here. The drift continues on Sing-Along Sally, almost 6-4 now, and the other 2 are being backed. The Machine, he's now 9-4 from 5-1 earlier on this week. Ballymac Belvolt was 5-1, now into 4-1. But still, I really do think Luminous Light has a chance at a big prize. He can go up better. He's never really got clear and being on the bunny, so there's a chance he could do that tonight. So, look, I've already had a few quid on him at 14-1. I've backed him to win it outright at 33-1, but I've been wrong before, only once, mind you. So they're all loaded for the second semi-final of the Con Annie Kirby 5-5. Let's join Mal for the commentary. Best of luck.
Green flag waved. 1 Sing-Along Sally, 2 is vacant, 3 The Machine, 4 Ballymac Belvolt, 5 Luminous Light, 6 Stone Park Leo. 3 of these 5 will qualify for the final. Near side, Stone Park Leo is off to a great start. Sing-Along Sally settles for second onto the second bend. It's 6, 1 and 3. Stone Park Leo in front by 2 lengths from Sing-Along Sally. In third is The Machine. Fourth is Ballymac Belvolt. Only 3 of these 4 will qualify for the final. In front, Stone Park Leo from Sing-Along Sally. We're off the final bend. It's 6 from 1 going towards the line. 6 holds on for a surprise win. Stone Park Leo. The price 10-1. The time 28.25. The trainer Mark O'Donovan. The club Castletown Ballygran.
Yes, indeed. Well, this one's certainly not going to the script. Sing-Along Sally run a fine race in defeat, but Trap 6 Stone Park Leo, this fellow had caught the eye in the opening round, ran a big race in the second round. He continues to improve. Tonight he showed great early dash on the outside to clear Sing-Along Sally. Just in behind, things got very tight for third spot. The Machine and Ballymac Belvolt, who's a mile back at this stage, is 4 lengths, 3 lengths in hand, or behind The Machine. He finishes very, very quick to get into a photo finish, but Trap 6 Stone Park Leo, he looked there to be shot at, but they couldn't get to him. Sing-Along Sally running her normal gallant race. It's desperately tight for third. I think Trap 3 The Machine is on the right side, but we're going to have to leave it to the judge. All I can promise you is that Stone Park Leo will be in the draw for the final. So too will Sing-Along Sally. But as for third spot, we will just leave it for just a moment or two. There's so much happening. They were so wide apart, but I think The Machine might have just snuck into the final. We will soon find out. I'm sure Barry will have that. But as you can see, Stone Park Leo again showing fine early speed from Mark Mark O'Donovan, this young handler, this such early stage in his racing career, his training career. Well, he's got a proper one in his hands here in his form of Stone Park Leo. He's improving all the time, getting stronger all the time. 28-25 from the frontier this evening. One sing-along Sally, just had to check sides there, but desperately tight for the third and fourth placings. We are waiting on the result there. I wonder, does Barry have a confirmation of the result?
I can tell you, Luminous Light didn't win in. Unfortunately, I think Luminous Light, he may have went slightly lame there. He definitely didn't give himself true running. Not official, Ian, but I'd be pretty certain that 6 has won. As you continue to sit on the fence when dogs win by a neck, you still won't call it. Don't think this one's quite won by a neck, but I'd be pretty sure he won. I think it's 6, 1 and 3. Just looking at it there again, yeah, again, it's not official, but I think it is 6, 1 and 3. Forward on an awful lot of running there, in fairness to him. Just looking at the replay there again, Ballymac Belford, unfortunately, I don't think he has made it through. Still nothing official yet, but Sing Along Sally definitely deserves a mention. Things didn't really go her way, and I thought with maybe 50 yards to run she was actually going to get up and win. The machine ran well again. He takes his place in the final, and Stone Park Leo for Mark O'Donovan there. He done it nicely there tonight, 28-25. What a final we have in prospect. Explosive Boy is obviously going to go off favourite, but it does make for a mouth-watering contest next week. Result is official, and as usual, I'm right. 6-1-3, Ian.
6-1-3. So the machine got third spot. It wasn't the winner I was worried about, Barry. I knew 6 was the winner, 1 was second. We were waiting for third spot, and I went to the machine. So we know our 6 finalists in the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. We won't be getting a reaction after this race. I believe there's a bit of testing going on. But we will focus our attention now on the final race here at Shelbourne Park before we go back and we'll talk about Limerick and what will be happening in the meantime. So this next race at Shelbourne Park, they have actually gone through the parade area. We will take a look at my 3 against the field. This final race here, it's a 550-yard contest, and you know what? There's only 4 of them because we have a couple of non-runners. Slippery Diva is missing from trap 4 and Auxerre missing from trap 6, but it remains an interesting contest. Razzle Dazzle Monarch races in 1 for Neil's O'Connell Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate. This son of Makeshift and Razzle Dazzle Crew has been running well in recent weeks without much luck. If he did happen to hit the front, he'd be hard enough to pick up. Trap 2 is Amazing Borna. 8 wins from 41 starts for Kieran Hicks, who has some nice dogs about him at the moment. This son of Kinloch Bray and Borna Queenie. Another that'll be need to be at his very fastest. He has a 28.48 in his card at Shelburne. This, of course, is a 550-yard contest. 3 is Priceless Jet. Probably the one they all have to beat. This fellow desperately unlucky to crash out of the Shelburne Open 600 last time. He's well housed in the middle. He tends to go up reasonably well. Trapping might be his issue, but he is a massive engine, and if he does get loose, well, he'll be certainly the one they all have to beat. And Trap 5 Sizzler, a dog who appreciates a long run to the corner. He does tend to stay wide on his bends, and if Trap 3 Price's Jet was up his inside, that could be his downfall. But have no doubt that Sizzler, with room to manoeuvre, nothing in 4 and 6, remember, his flanks are clear. If he does get loose in the early yards, well, he could take some stopping into that opening bend, and if he did turn into the second bend with a lead, he could be hard enough to pick up because he flies again down into that third turn. He is a wide runner, however, so be wary of that. Just to let you know, the Con Annie Kirby Memorial, the trap draw for that final will be made on Facebook Live about 10 or 15 minutes after we go off air. So Facebook Live for the Con Annie Kirby Memorial. I'm sure you'll find it at the Limerick page or the GRI Facebook page. Meanwhile, Rob, this final race is only 4 of them, but it's an intriguing contest. If Price's Jet was a bit more consistent at boxes, you'd probably back him without money. Pounds, shillings and pence would be on trap 3 Price's Jet, but just does leave himself open to the odd defeat because he's not great at the boxes, but there's no question he's as fast as most dogs in training.
Absolutely, Ian. Yeah, he's got a serious engine, but he did frank his lines early on last week, and when running against the calibre of greyhounds that he was taking on last week, you can't make any mistakes. Hopefully Brian and Kathleen Murphy are tuning in from the Cayman Islands, no doubt. If they are, they'll be rooting him on. And I must give a mention to Larry and May MacDonald in Castledermot, because they're watching for the first time, and hopefully they're enjoying their night and making a few quid. There's no doubt about it, Sizzler is the main threat to Priceless Jet. As you said, his sectional suggests that he could lead up here, and he's done a time of 29.78 for the 550, and of course Graham Holland is hoping for a quick fire double. So Priceless Jet, if he gets his trapping together.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut off Rob there because we do have reaction from Limerick. It'll have to be quick because, as you can see, they're going to traps here at Shelburne.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, I'm joined by Michael O'Dwyer, Connection Stone Park Leo. Michael, you must be delighted with that win there tonight.
He ran a cracker. It broke very well. Savage pace into that third bend, and he stayed on as good as any of them. He ran very well. We're delighted with him, and he's in the final now, so you couldn't ask for more.
Exactly. So what will the week entail now this week? Will you be taking a handy or just be full steam ahead?
I'll leave that up to the O'Donovan family. That'll be... I'm sure they'll know what to do anyway.
That's great. Yeah. Congratulations and the very best of luck for
Thanks very much. Thanks
very much.
Okay, action coming thick and fast. We're all in for a final race of the night here at Shelburne. This Open 550. Just before going to traps. In 1 is Razzle Dazzle Monarch, 2 is Amazing Borna, in 3 is Priceless Jet, and in 5 is Sizzler. And away they go. Sizzler's well away, as is Razzle Dazzle Monarch up the inside. Then we've got Priceless Jet and Amazing Borna. But it's Sizzler who's going to skip around the opening 2 bends, although he runs a little bit wide. He lets Razzle Dazzle Monarch up, and Priceless Jet now has got the perfect opportunity to pounce into the 3rd bend. Priceless Jet, he's just on the outside of Razzle Dazzle Monarch. 5 Sizzlers bang there as well. Any of the 3 can win. Priceless Jet though gets up the inside, but Sizzler is now in front off the final bend. Sizzler, Razzle Dazzle Monarch and Priceless Jet. We had a 3-way photo in the big one, and we've ended the night with a 3-way photo, possibly Sizzler on the near side, but we've got to leave it to the judge, and the winning time, not as fast as we thought, 30:25.
Yeah, one of those races where you don't actually really want to do the replay all that much. It got a bit tight around the last 2 bends, shall we say. Trap 1 up the inside, Razzle Dazzle Monarch going up fast. 5 on the outside, Scissor, showing all that early dash. But as you know, he runs very wide, and that allows Razzle Dazzle Monarch up his inside. But just now, poised in 3rd spot is Priceless Jet. At this point, it just looked like himself and Razzle Dazzle Monarch were on the exact same racing line. He didn't know to go inside, outside, checks his stride again, now switches to the inside, and that's when things start to get interesting. There is a bit of bumping and barging up front. As you can see, Trap 5 Scissor has gone to the front, but also Trap 3 Priceless Jet coming back at him, Razzle Dazzle Monarch between them. It's all very messy in the closing yards. They all have their own thoughts in the game. I'm just wondering if everything was right in the race. I'm just going to confirm that in just a moment of time. We will look at the replay one more time. As you can see, the hair does go by them. I was just conscious that maybe the hair wasn't there, but Trap 5, Sizzler up the outside, again running very wide. Trap 1, Razzle Dazzle Monarch up the inside, and there you see Trap 3, Priceless Jet, just nowhere to go. He's just in the same racing line as Trap 1, Razzle Dazzle Monarch. It all gets very close up front. All 3 greyhounds just seem to hesitate a bit off the final bend. So a Stewart's inquiry has been called into the final race. I think that I did see the hair passing me there at that point. But just all 3 greyhounds just seem to be a bit hesitant up the home straight. But in the end, it's desperately tight. We're going to wait for the photo finish. Again, I don't want to do that replay because, for obvious enough reasons, it's all very tight up front. All I can tell you is that 2 was 4th. Amazing Borna. Well done to that one for not getting involved in what was happening up front. Again, folks, remind you that the trap draw for the Con Annie Kirby final will be made 10-15 minutes after the final race here tonight at Shelbourne, or after we go off air, should I say, at 10 o'clock. So you can view that on the Limerick Facebook page, or indeed the GRI Facebook page. I'm sure there will be a link to it there also. It is a final draw worth tuning in for because, of course, Sing Along Sally and Explosive Boy, if they're drawn the wrong way round, all of a sudden things could get pretty tight. We know that Stone Park Leo will be drawn in Trap 6. Worth mentioning that because he's guaranteed a clear passage. We are still waiting on the trap draw, or the result here at Shelbourne Park. And again, that trap draw about 10 or 15 minutes after we go off air on Facebook Live. Just a chance to acknowledge our sponsors in the Kirby Memorial, of course. JP and Noreen McManus. They really are fantastic sponsors. We know they're standing in Irish society as a whole. They love their sport. They love racehorses. They love hurling. They love golf. You name it. But they also love greyhound racing. And thankfully that they are well and truly behind the Con Annie Kirby Memorial, which is named after Noreen's parents. They were part of the furniture at the old Markets Field in Limerick, and it's great to have them on board. And long may it continue. Now we move on. Mal has the dogs on parade at Limerick.
Tyrap Boris, trap 1. Number 2 is Bellagore's Rebel, owned and trained by Stephen Clack of Kilmallock. Trap 3, Ocean Ringo, runs for trainer Tom Fitzgerald. Now to 4 in Cobbs Road is for Kevin Morrissey of Abbey Field. Trap 5 is a quarter-final winner of 28.82 pedigree, Tally Ho Hope for the Wall family. And 6, Portrine Champ, trained by Liam Carroll of Cratloe, County Clare. Those are the runners for the 10th race, which is the first of the semi-finals in the Limerick and Clare Goba A3 stake.
Yes, well, it's good to see that even at my advancing age, my old age, my withered old bones, that my instincts are still there. The last race here at Shelbourne Park has been declared void. I was right. There was something amiss with the hare. I saw it passing through the shot. It was too quick. It wasn't quite right. The jacket was missing from the hare, and as a result, the dogs were just chasing a hare, and as a result, they also got involved. So a void race, and you can put away any thoughts you have of that final race, because they were literally just running on air, running on instinct, and thankfully my instincts were right. The race was declared void, and you can scrub off any testimony that you heard here this evening, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, because all 4 dogs were innocent of all charges. Now, that's racing done here at Shelbourne Park. A dramatic way to finish, but again, that race was void. If you did happen to think you were on the winner, hard luck. We're not even going to declare a winner because we don't have to. A void race. This final race, or this 10th race here at Limerick, I'm not sure if we'll get another one in. I think they may try and get another one in, but we'll play that by ear. But this is the opening semi-final of the Limerick and Clare Goba A3 525. And our 3, Bellagore's Rebel. We threw this fellow in. I thought he ran a big race behind Boy Hero last week, staying on strongly. He can go a bit better. He's not the most prolific. He's won 3 of his 20, but he's certainly capable of playing a part. Next, we're going to take a look at his Trap 3, Ocean Ringo, a dog with tremendous early speed for Tom Fitz, of course, of the advisory committee down at Limerick. This fellow showed good early speed, made all last week in 29.09. Expect him to race prominently again. And the same could be said for 5, Tally Ho Hope. This fellow scarcely in the boxes last week. He absolutely rocketed out. 125, that arrival ending in the Kirby Memorial. And he went on to win at 28.82. If he repeats that, or if she repeats that performance, this daughter of Tally Ho Lee will take some stopping for the walls of Tally Ho Syndicate. It's a cracking race, and they're on the way to boxes. I'm not sure if we have time to join Barry. Barry, quick word.
Quick word, glad to hear that last race was void in Shelbourne Park. Yeah, I'm with you here, Ian. Tally Ho Hope, she was an impressive wide margin winner here last week. She's only in April 19, plenty of improvement to come. She has some good early sectionals, looks a likely leader. I'll go with 4, Cobbs Road to chase her home. So it's going to be 5, Tally Ho Hope for me, Cobbs Road in second. Over to you, Mal, for the commentary.
From the inside, Tyra Boris, Bellagore's Rebel, Ocean Ringo, Cobbs Road, Tally Ho Hope, Portrine Champ. 5 is the strong favourite, breaks well, does Tally Ho Hope. Second is number 3, Ocean Ringo. Onto the second bend, it's 5, 1 and 3, followed by 2 and 6. 5, Tally Ho Hope, setting a strong pace from 1, Tyra Boris. 3 is third, Ocean. A couple slip back through the field, but not Tally Ho Hope off that final turn, putting in a very good performance here to win in 28.85. 6 and 1 are next. Portrine Champ, Tyra Boris.
Yeah, they may as well call this one Tally Ho Deja Vu, because we saw it last week and we saw it again this week. Tally Ho Hope, this daughter of Tally Ho Lee, making a flash start from Trap 5, making every inch of the running. Last week she did 28.82, this week she does 28.85. We can account those 3 spots for her having to track across 1 extra trap. She was in 4 last week, she's in 5 this week. But again, absolutely paw perfect, made every inch of the running. Our feed just broke down slightly at that third bend, but I'm afraid you missed very little from Trap 5, Tally Ho Hope, because she was gallantly charging on to a very impressive success for the walls of Tally Ho Syndicate. 4 wins now from 9 start for this lady, and if she continues in that vein of form, she'll take some stopping in this Limerick and Clare Goba A3 525. Just once again, confirmation that the last race here at Shelbourne Park was void. The dogs were literally getting involved because they were chasing nothing. There was no hare to be chased, so we can scrap that one and erase it from our memory banks. But again, Trap 5, Tally Ho Hope, an impressive winner of this opening semi-final of the Limerick and Clare Goba A3 525. I believe they will try and get the next one in before we go off air, but if they don't, well, our apologies, but it just couldn't be helped. There was hare hair problems earlier on. As a result, we are the guts of half an hour behind. So these things do happen. But thankfully, we got to see the two wonderful semi-finals in the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial. Trap 5, though, Tally Ho Hope, again, making every inch of the running. Congratulations to all involved in the walls of Tally Ho Syndicate, this daughter of Tally Ho Lee and Crofty's Act. A 4th win on her card. Well, the next race at Limerick, we will take a quick look at them in case they do go ahead and run this one off in time. We only have roughly 5.5, 6 minutes, so we'll play it by ear. If we don't get it in, I'm afraid you'll be able to view the replays, of course, on Barking Buzz or on the GRI website in the morning. So fear not, you'll be able to see the final, of course, on Racing Post Television in 7 days' time. It'll be viewed live on Racing Post Greyhound Television. But the 3 we're going to take a look at, or are we going to take a look at our 3? Yeah, I think I'll tell you what. We'll get Barry's thoughts in this contest first. Again, it's going to be our last race on air this evening. So, Barry, what's your take of this second semi-final?
Yeah, thanks, Ian. A decent A1, A2, 525 to finish up proceedings there. And Trap 2, Vigorous Luke, despite being an August 17, he's relatively lightly raced for his age, and he was actually thought good enough to run in last year's Derby. I think he might have been trained by Mark O'Donnell for that. He's recently returned from a layoff, and he just couldn't be simply too good for this field. Tullivin Beyonce is another one who drops in class. She was recently contesting the... Oh, I'm got ahead of myself. I apologise. Yeah, there you go. Luke will win the last. Vigorous Luke will win the last anyway. So I apologise. Race 11 here. Timing's all over the place. Boy Hero, the old man of the party, and August 16 won his 25th race here last week. An amazing performer. Credit to all involved. It's great to see him knocking around at a grand old age of 5. Great rank in Trap 6 is at the other end of his career. He's only starting now, so he's a good win there last week in 28.99. Trap 3, Ballyan Bingo, she ran on well to take 3rd close home last week, and she has recorded 28.96 here in the past. Her dam also won in 28.67 around here. Trap 2, Jalaville Jim, he's yet to win a race, but he has shown ability, and he ran on well to record a personal best last time at 29.33 behind Ocean Ringo here. Then you have Hidden Harmony for Eamon Quinn in Trap 4. Consistent sort, another with good back form, has won in 28.93 here late last year and ran well behind Trap 1 Boy Hero. But as I say, yeah, Boy Hero, it's all about him retaining his form at the grand old age. He's 5 this month, 25 wins, he's won well over €13,000 in prize money, so he's the one for me. Ian, we're probably about 3 or 4 minutes. What would you fancy yourself in this one?
I've always been a big fan of Boy Hero. I love his draw on the inside, but unfortunately I don't think we'll be able to get this race in because they are still testing ahead of us. So unfortunately the Gremlins were at work earlier on down at Limerick. It wasn't our end, thankfully. It wasn't a production end of things. It was just one of those things that happen at Greyhound tracks. We've all been there. We've all seen it happen. The hair did malfunction earlier on, but thankfully, we did get to see those two very important semi-finals of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial. Once again, a reminder, the draw for the final of the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial will be able to view on the Limerick Greyhound Racing Ireland Facebook page in about 10-15 minutes time. I'm going to say about 10 or 15 minutes time, just after we go off air. And of course, that draw could be all important. Again, those 6 qualifiers. In the opening heat, we saw Explosive Boy going through. A brilliant performance, 28.08 from the inside, making every inch of the running. Agent Stanley and Ballymac Merlin. And in the second heat, an equally dramatic affair. Got very tight at the finish, but Trap 6, Stone Park Leo emerged a very comfortable winner from the outside. When I say very comfortable, I mean about a head. From Sing-Along Sally, it was also tight for 3rd spot, with the machine just holding off Ballymac Belleville. So we have our 6 finalists. We're just waiting the draw. Barry, you have a few seconds to give your opinion on the final. I know we haven't seen the trap draw, but I'm sure you believe, like me, that Explosive Boy will be hard to beat.
Yeah, I have to echo those sentiments, Ian. Yes, traps don't seem to bother him. As I say, he's won from trap 6, he's won from trap 1 twice. He absolutely flies out. It's hard to see him beat with another one of those starts. Great to see, as I say, Des and Marty in the final with Agent Stanley. He can fly out as well. So maybe if he's on the inside of Explosive Boy, it might be a different story. But unfortunately, we can't get the last couple of races in here at Limerick. Tommy Bolton done his best, but just a little bit behind time. So that's all from me. Back to you in the studio, Ian.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. We're in our last 10 seconds here, so there's little more for me to say, except don't forget, Con Annie Kirby Final Memorial next week. Should be an unbelievable final. That's it for us tonight. Good luck and God bless.